Really? You think that's the locker room talk over at the Philadelphia Eagles? Redistricting? And Trump is the architect of that. And by going into that, that made a difference. So I want to play cut 20 first. Here are the principles. Here are the principles for the Philadelphia Public Schools, making the point that how can we expect schools to function? You know, the Phillies wouldn't play with 7 players. The Eagles wouldn't play with 9, that type of thing. I really want to get this principle on. But several of them we have in this. The principal and the principals union going out of their way to tell us, that Uber has to pay up. It's for the children. I will tell you this. Here's the interesting development here. That Uber seems to have city council on their side. I'm not sure because they're paying them off vis-a-vis various methodologies, campaign, and et cetera, or because a lot of low-income people apparently use Uber. So in other words, this isn't like the soda tax where they identify someone and hammer them. But they're trying. They think it's their money. That's what this is about. All right, we'll get to that in a moment. Okay, here we go. Here is the Philadelphia school principals pushing the rideshare, so-called rideshare tax, cut 20.
Who are we?
Outside Potter Thomas Elementary School, the union members in the blue shirts are principals who lead schools across the city.
We are one.
They're making the case to keep their school teams intact as budget cuts loom.
Can the Phillies work with 6 out of 9 players? Can the Sixers play with 3 out of 5 players? Can the Eagles play with 7 out of 11? No, then why do we have to pay with 37% less?
The principals today gathered to urge City Council to approve a $1 rideshare tax proposed by the mayor that would give the district funding to avoid cutting several hundred positions, reassigning staff members.
Our school is projected to lose more than 21% of our teaching staff. We will lose 37.5% of our classroom assistants.
Okay, lady and gentlemen, particularly the guy, Hammer. That's the guy went on, let's talk sports. No mention, the budget is closing in on $5 billion. So why can't they afford a full team? Is there a salary cap against the Philadelphia Public Schools? Do the principals, are they like a Trey Turner who got paid $300 million over his career and now there's not enough left to put a guy in left field, so they just don't put anyone out there? All right, that seems to be no, they're not going to look at the waste, fraud, abuse, nonsense that goes into these schools. But I find it interesting because these schools are exactly the rationale here for money that is wasted. By the way, another school district, and I wanted to co-join this. I don't say it easily, but the Cheltenham School District is in the news again. Cheltenham, in my view, might be, now you can call in and tell me another, they might be the best example of a school district that was once great. I know if you're under 50, well, maybe under 40, you may not remember that. But I was inside their Hall of Fame once because of a dunk tank I did to raise money over there. Way back when, the Netanyahus are in there, the second heart transplant doctor, all that. They are in the Cheltenham Hall of Fame. But it's a school district now during COVID and subsequently that obviously has fallen tremendously. So now they have gotten rid of their football team. They're not going to play football, at least from the 10, 11, and 12 grades, in 2026 because of an assault in the locker room. So this assault doesn't seem to be clear to anyone. You know, would they do it over a fight? Now, it seems to be something more serious than that. And Josh Shapiro is interviewed for Politico. And I figured out what Josh Shapiro is going to do to try to appeal to his anti-Semitic party and be their nominee. He's going to attack Netanyahu. So in the interview with the Politico guy, somehow or another, it comes up about Netanyahu going to Cheltenham. And they both say, oh, yeah, and he's not even the most famous person to try to diminish Netanyahu, whoever went to Cheltenham. Well, who is? Well, they say Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Now, wait a minute. I don't think if I went on the streets of Philadelphia right now, I'd get 1 out of 10. That no slight on Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, the whole thing. But they're willing to tell you that Reggie Jackson is more universally recognized than Benjamin Netanyahu, just to try to diminish Netanyahu. So that's where Josh Shapiro will be going. If you think Reggie Jackson is, you can tell me. If Reggie Jackson's listening, I'm not sure if he's in the area or not. It would be interesting. Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame too, rightfully so, all-timer, right? Particularly clutch, postseason, all that stuff. But they have the heart doctor. They have both Netanyahus. I think it's both Netanyahus. And Cheltenham used to be that type of school district. It is no longer. It has fallen on the rocks. And canceling the football season is just another example. I'm not saying they shouldn't, given the charges or whatever's happening with that, but it is amazing. All right, now, we're still working. I'm just texting with him. I know he's a bit tired, but people universally giving credit to Scott Presler for his role in overwhelmingly, it was a 28-point win plus in Texas. Of course, the Trump endorsement made a big difference versus the last time. Now, this guy Paxson, if you want to win, you can't just laugh at Tellerico, but I like the way they're going after him. He's got a lot of baggage, but somehow or another, in the population areas, he does pretty well. This is the fraudulent religionist who says, well, abortion is not ever said once. Where's the word abortion in the Bible? Okay, there's a lot of words that are not in the Bible. He thinks this is clever. But Paxson, the list of indictments on this guy, and then the issue with his wife and the cheating that's massive, is a lot of baggage. Now, the Cook Political Report, which shouldn't be seen as bipartisan or nonpartisan anymore, they lean Democrat. They've changed Texas now from Cornyn versus Tellerico to favoring Republicans to now favoring Democrats. I don't see that. This is cut 12, though. Here's Keith Boykin. He's on the Scott Jennings show, the Abby Phillips show. I think this is last night. And he doesn't like the fact of how we're going to go after Tellerico. I do think it's effective to go after this guy and mock him. I'm not sure if he's a vegan or not, but he supports that. And there's nothing wrong with being a vegan, but if you're in Texas, you better be eating a lot of barbecue. Now, I'm a pescatarian, according to Dan. I eat fish and everything else. For health reasons, it's vaguely vegetarian, a lot of pasta.
What else would you call yourself?
Pescatarian, not a
all
vegetarian.
right, just making sure you agree with that assessment.
Oh, yeah, not a vegetarian. That's right, yeah. So I've arrived at that. But if I were running in Texas, that might be tough. But I'm a vegan on top of it. And Tellerico with this, oh, my goodness. Listen to Boykin, though, saying Republicans don't really want to talk the issues. Well, the issue is this guy does not fit Texas. Now, Paxson, I think, is a creep, right? But we're talking about policy here. We're talking about what he would do, and he does fit the requirements on that. And Tellerico, you talk about a guy being out of step with Texas. This guy couldn't walk down a block in South Philly without being knocked down constantly. And in Texas, God knows. But here's Keith Boykin.
In Texas the past 5 months because I've been there with my mom. And I'm telling you that Texas is ripe for the picking. Democrats have to have the right candidate.
Boykin said, talking about his 6 genders is a nonsense issue, et cetera. We'll see about that. And the nicknames for him, we have some of those. We'll play those too, where he, Paxson, yeah, okay. Here's cut 12. Here's Keith Boykin.
In Texas the past 5 months because I've been there with my mom. And I'm telling you that Texas is ripe for the pickings. Democrats have to have the right candidate and the right time. And Democrats are excited this year in the way that they haven't been in any other year in recent memory. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. And the fact that they're going after James Tallarico the way they are, with these silly attacks about whether he eats meat or not, or whether he's
that's the worst that they come up with.
We can go further.
I'm sorry.
There's 12 million cows in Texas.
I get it.
If you want to say the can in Texas, please, there's 6 genders. I think there's going to be a lot of
the American flag is a complicated symbol.
But this is the kind of nonsense that Republicans want to play. They don't want to focus on the real issues about what's going to be good for Texas. Who's going to put money on your table?
Well,
Who's
going
to make sure you have health insurance?
Paxton coming through as the nominee here. I actually think this is going to be a race largely about corruption. And there's a hunger for moral leadership right now in this party and across this country that I think James Tallarico is speaking to.
Let me play some of these are some voters.
All right, so we'll see about that. Look, Paxton, who is, as I said, challenged himself, came out last night swinging about this guy and talking about some of the weird stuff he's done, and it is legendary. And that's all going to play out in the campaign. And you can say you don't like it. You do. People vote on stuff like this. They're not voting on pieces of paper. Here's my policy. They're voting on the person. And if the person is a weirdo, well, then that's something that is going to be baggage here. And Paxton has big-time baggage also. Okay, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Now, we're really looking forward anytime we get Joe Concha on. If you remember, last time we had him on, I think it was the last time, we were talking about his book, The 100 Most Unlikable Persons. You know, not dictators, not Hitler, kind of like the side question. And a lot of you suggested you could hit me on Twitter. He's here at 1230 at Dom Show 1210. I'll read a few to him. We'll get an update from him on that. But he has been talking, we talked about the Colbert Show devastatingly of why that failed, better than anybody. But he also has a lot to say about the DART thing in New York. And I'll ask him about the Odyssey. So we talked about the film yesterday, and that gave us the side question that we've never done before for today. An all-time journey, and the journey can be real or fictional. Real or fictional, and it doesn't have to be a physical journey. It could be a journey in which a person changes their mind on something monumental, finds their way. You know, they were an alcoholic and they go on to greatness. Any kind of journey is what we're looking for. Now, I'll take my favorite off, and it is despicable that American schools cannot have kids read Huck Finn. To me, that fits the criteria of how a journey shows evolution, how Huck Finn sees Jim as a human versus the stereotype, well, the bigotry, the racism of the time is a perfect example. And you only get that by going down the river by all the adventures. I also take Forrest Gump off as any number of scenes with Forrest Gump. I'm trying to think of the one I would put the number one. That is when Forrest Gump is running at the end to try to make sense out of stuff, and he just ran, I ran, you know, he tells that type of thing. And then when he stops, he's going to say something. The running is a thing. It's a journey that intrigues people. Okay, Henry, how about yours?
Yeah, I'll take a few off the board. How about I take a real journey off here? How about 3 people that explored the newly acquired Louisiana territory, and that would be Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very famous one throughout history. Just an easy one to get us started here. And how about a fictional one? How about I take a different Christopher Nolan movie? How about Interstellar? How about when Earth is dying, there's not much produce left on the planet. It's up to Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, actors like that to go through this ripple in time and space in order to try and find a new habitable planet. And in so leaving everyone on Earth to age, get older, and possibly die on that trek. You have to give up everything in order to, prevent humanity from dying. So I think that's a pretty big journey. And then you hit on the spiritual one a little bit. How about I just throw in a funny one? Aaron Rodgers taking ayahuasca to figure out whether or not he wants to continue to play football. And then that next offseason when he did it again, only this time he did a darkness retreat where he was blindfolded inside of a tree for a few days until he got total clarity.
Oh, I didn't know that, inside a tree. I know about
Yeah.
the darkness. Okay. All right. That's the guy. We'll put him out there. The NFL, who cares? Well, there are people that get on him because of the COVID thing, but sure, the ladies on The View. Now, that'd be a good guest on The View, as wacky as he is with the ladies on The View. Okay, Kirk, how about yours?
The legendary road trip Route 66 going from Chicago to Santa Monica.
Okay, yeah, Route 66 still, that is legendary.
Yep.
All right, we got a lot of other things here. Hit us with that. Get your name in right at the top. And Joe Concha, following him on Twitter today, get him ready. You got guys saying, well, Kaepernick never played it down after he took a knee. And Concha says he took over 700 snaps. I'm not sure. I check out the accuracy. Can you see on Twitter? It was 699. They didn't let him play 700. This all in the still ongoing story with Dart. All right, 855-839-1210. That will get you a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that we need you to do is just push pound 1210.
Now we're moving into summer, and it's time we find out how brutal the winter weather was to our home. Hey, it's Rich Izzioli. If you're looking for a contractor that can help you with repairs during this time, or maybe you want to get a jump on those renovations, go with my guys, Emmons. They deliver protection, peace of mind, and true craftsmanship. That's why Emmons has always been my go-to contractor for over 10 years in 2 different homes. And they even just remodeled our kids' bathroom. Plus, you're going to get American-made products, American-made roofing products to lifetime warranted Owens Corning roofs built to handle severe weather, siding that elevates and insulates your home, and made in America, windows and doors that blend style and performance, made in America. Emmons has you covered every step of the way. So go to emmonsroofing.com, upgrade your home with confidence, make sure you tell them I sent you, and always go with the company that I go with because I trust them and they've delivered for me each and every time in 2 different homes. That's Emmons Roofing, emmonsroofing.com.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs.
My groceries, heating costs.
Medications. Sure, I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Those sentimental, meaningful, irreplaceable moments. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started the Legacy Box over a decade ago so that we could help families save their memories from being destroyed by floods or fires.
years. And it's not just natural disasters, Adam. Every day, videotapes and photos are slowly fading away, decaying, neglected in closets and attics.
Digitizing your old media stops fading, and preserving those recordings means they are safe forever. It's like magic, converting your shoebox of memories into digital files, ready to watch and share.
It's the only way to ensure your legacy is safe for generations. That's why over 1 million families have already trusted Legacy Box. Legacy Box is simple and easy, it works, and is safe. We'd love to preserve your family's collection. Don't wait, the risk is too great.
Visit legacybox.com/radio to save 50%. That's legacybox.com/radio to get started and save. legacybox.com/radio.
Keeping free speech alive. Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT. WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. I might be agreeing with Randy Weingarten on something today. Call Corey DeAngelis. Oh, man. It's about AI and about Melania walking with a robot teacher. You know, she wants to put taxes on tech for that. I'm not about taxing them. I'm about stopping this AI craze. But here's some fodder for Mayor Mondani. I just saw this. CNN this morning was talking about last year, if you were, let me pull it up, the exact thing. If you were going to the NBA Finals last year, you would be able to go to most of the games. Let's see. For $3,500 last year, you could have gone to all 7 games of last year's NBA Finals and still had $200 left over for food and drinks. But here are these New Yorkers. Oh, no. If you want to get a pair of seats, not at courtside, not near the celebrities quite, but sort of near courtside, they have them. There's still a few left. For Game 6, if there is a Game 6, they're listed for $250,000, $250,000 a piece.
Wow.
Yes.
Jeez.
Now, again, I'm not going to tell people how to spend their own money, whatever. And I guess there are people that wouldn't miss that, but I think deep down they're moronic. They would miss it. I mean, the net worth, and it has to be net worth. It's not going to go away because of some downturn or something. Would have to be pretty substantial. Let's say you're going with somebody, 2 people going. That's $500,000. Oh my God. It's just unbelievable. So why is New York that pricey? The Knicks, no, because they know they can find morons that are willing to pay it, and then their morons will come down here and bother us. You're going to see more of that. So they didn't give the exact seat listing there, but it is Game 6, and it's near the celebrity row, but not courtside. $250,000 a seat. That's preposterous. I can't think of any event historic that you know how historic it is afterward that I'd be willing to pay that for. Even if I could afford it, Roe would probably say, well, can't we take DJ and Luke to, oh, yeah.
That's $1 million.
Yeah, it's $1 million for this. And it might be a blowout. It doesn't even matter. It's all crazy talk to see that. I thought they were paying $5,000 to $10,000. Okay, in Game 6, yeah, 10, 15, it goes up, something like that. So does it prove anything? Does it prove Mondani's point about affordability and all that? No, it doesn't. But it does prove that there are outfits that are out of control, and my remedy on this is capitalism. They shouldn't be getting all these breaks. They shouldn't be getting corporate welfare. They shouldn't be getting cutouts, the NBA, the NFL, and all the rest of it. If they're going to be able to charge $250,000, that's not even the most pricey for Game 6. I don't know what is. It might be $500,000 if you're a few rows up. Okay, it's capitalism. You can do whatever you want. But then you don't get anything. And I'm going to be on the lookout to stop the NFL and the NBA from this nonsense. Not only that, this isn't the NFL. You're not standing on the sideline holding the Gatorade. You're at Madison Square Garden. All right. My God. $250,000. All right. Hit us on the side question. 855-839-1210. All-time journey. real or fictional, and think in terms of a journey in the broadest sense of that. By the way, I read a pretty good review at Breitbart, of all places, on the upcoming Odyssey. And the guy who wrote about it, Nolte, was not complaining about the race debate of one of the lead characters. He talked about all the other times we've seen this debate come up in various forms. But it is curious, according to him, that we still don't know about Achilles. And his beef was, okay, you're doing all this stuff. Are you going to use this trans actor to play Achilles? That's at least what the stuff Nolan was playing with is out there. So it's going to be interesting. Oh, this film, too, Henry, has collapsed as far as there's something called an enthusiasm index. And you may have been more right. The enthusiasm was decent, I guess, based upon Nolan. I don't know if it's based upon Odysseus, Joe of Exton. There's not a million Joe of Extons out there.
Right.
But it's gone down about 8 to 10 points since all this stuff has started. So it's going to be an interesting film to see if this draws because of the director, because of and these are big names. And they're going to have to make a lot of money to even break even with this. So I'm going to ask Joe Concha about this in just a couple minutes. He's the best on Fox when it comes to all these cultural things, if you will, sports culture stuff that impedes together. And he did a devastating piece by the numbers on Stephen Colbert. 200 people were full-time staff on the Colbert Show. I mean, come on. I could see 25 people you need, maybe a little bit more than that. 200 people to produce that, and they did lose $40 million last year, or the last couple of years. They were in that range. All right, he is next. Response to, I'm trying to get on one of these principles. These principals now think it's their God-given right to take $1 more from Uber and Lyft, or for the consumer, the customer. Think about it, though. Isn't it shocking that the Marxists, in some ways, at City Hall, at the City Council, somehow or another, it appears they don't want to go along with Parker and put that burden on Uber and Lyft. I'm not sure fully the reason, other than they're getting something. Remember, they did it to Big Soda. Now this was going to be the big target, big Uber, big rideshare. And they appear like they're not going to get it. So these principals out there yakking about the kids are not going to be able to learn. Your budget is about $5 billion. If I get one of them on, that's no holds barred on this. That guy just enraged me. Well, the Eagles won't have 6 players out there, or 9, whatever he said. And the Phillies wouldn't take the field with only 7 players. How are we supposed to teach kids if we're losing whatever the number is they say they're losing, if they don't get to put another tax on people just for trying to get a ride home? All right, Joe Concha next, 855-839-1210.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
Searching for a new path to wellness? Dr. Molly Fantasia explains how medical hydration therapy can help you reclaim your energy. Listen to Health Watch, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Weather sponsored by H&K Group Incorporated.
Shower chances will decrease heading through the afternoon. It'll stay warm and humid with a high of around 82. For tonight, becoming partly cloudy, low 66 for the city, a bit cooler in the suburbs, and a less humid day on Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds with a high near 80.
Start your new career with H&K Group Incorporated. H&K Group wants to offer you the opportunity to be part of the industry leader. 80 locations across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Visit hkgroup.com and apply today. H&K is an equal opportunity employer.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, big issues, big guest, Joe Concha, one of our favorites from Fox News, D.C. Examiner, host of 77 WABC, 9 p.m. Monday through Friday and 11 a.m. on Sundays, and the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Greatest Comeback Ever, Inside Trump's Big Beautiful Campaign. And the last time or times we've spoken with him, we were noodling. He's got to have that 100 list, I think, of the most unlikable people. Had a brilliant, devastating, by the numbers in the D.C. Examiner. You can find it on Colbert that I read on Friday on the air, by the numbers. Like 200 people full-time working that show. My God. Let's go to Joe Concha here on the Dom Show on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, that was, with all the stuff written about Colbert, that was the most insightful. Nice work.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And, you know, you hear the opinions from like the Brian Stelters of the world, and everybody's saying how iconic this guy is. And, you know, this is an attack on free speech, and Trump wanted him off the air because he can't take a joke, even though he's been telling jokes, if you want to call him that, about Trump for the last 11 years or so. In the end, I just want to look at the numbers. I want to see, okay, CBS made a business decision here. And you're right, that 200 number is the one that makes people stop and say, wait, how many people work for him? Because like I've been saying on the air, it's like you and me talking right now, right? Let's say I came into your studio and you were doing this interview with me. How many staffers do you need to have two guys talk across each other from a desk? I don't know. A couple, maybe. Max.
Well, my
Not
wife says
200.
this when I get home. You talk for 3 hours a day. And, Joe, you're in the same business. It's not show business. There's no singing or dancing. Take out the trash. That's it.
Take out the trash.
There you go. Yeah. But, Joe,
and the trash has been taken out. And that's the thing. You got to pay all those people. And that's why he's losing $40 million a year. And people think it's a charity. Like, oh, you got to keep him on the air anyway. He's speaking truth to power. And, well, let him speak truth to power on YouTube. Let him hire back all those 200 people.
Right.
You don't need a network anymore. Rent the studio. He's worth tens of millions of dollars. And you know why he won't do that? Because he doesn't want to lose $40 million of his own money. That's why. He's a coward.
Exactly. Joe, last time we talked, this new book, again,
Yes.
I love the list type of thing, particularly with your insight, and you get the nuance on this. We're not talking about monsters, the most unlikable. How's it going? You got any new ones we can noodle on here?
It's funny. You may have heard me laugh during the intro because I was just telling my wife, literally before your people called, that I just basically finished it. I got to organize the chapters in terms of order, but it's fully written. I just finished it, I think, 5 minutes ago. And, yeah, we got 99 good ones. And, I mean, when I tell you this thing wrote itself, it really, really did. And I think it's going to do very well. It's going to come out we're looking around Christmas now at this point. So
that's a great Christmas book. Can you gave us a couple you were noodling. Any that you arrived at the end? Or you don't want to spoil the number one if there is a number one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to rank them or if I just randomly go through them, But, it hits the left and the right if you want to call these people the right. Like, I hate to say it. I used to be on Tucker Carlson's show all the time on Fox, but I don't know what's happened to this person as far as some of the things he's saying. And that New York Times interview he did recently where he said that Trump was the Antichrist and then denied ever saying it, and then they played back the clip for him, and he said, those words never came out of my mouth. Like, literally still denying something after the words
No,
were played for him.
I'm glad you did. He said recently we shouldn't pay our credit cards off. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, that's a new one, right? And everything, Israel, and it just, I don't know. I just find him to be contradictory, I guess you could say, and Candace Owens also. I mean, accusing Erica Kirk of being complicit in her own husband's murder, that's some really weird stuff. People like that are on there. George Santos, people like that. But also, we go through celebrities like Cynthia Nixon is on here because she ruined the new Sex and the City. Like, there's some reasons I have people on here for that have nothing to do with politics per se. Let's see, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez and Charlize Theron all grooming their kids to be trans. I find that to be like despicable, at an age where they're so impressionable and they're not doing what parents should do. So, yeah, I could go down the line, but in the end, if I were to rank them, you still got to put probably Don Lemon at the top. I mean, he just continues to fascinate me with how stupid one person can be.
Absolutely. We're talking with Joe Concha. And, Joe, I've been following you on Twitter, usually, but even more intensely when we knew you were on. The Jackson Dart thing, and I saw just today on Twitter, the guy says, what about Kaepernick? He never played another snap after he took a knee. And you say played over 700 snaps.
Yeah. Harry Sisson, who's like this Democratic influencer, got invited to the White House by Joe Biden. And this kid, again, I keep going back to this word, I'm sorry, stupid, right? I mean, in an age of Google, it's pretty easy to look up things. And Kaepernick, yes, he played plenty of downs after he kneeled. And the thing that people always seem to forget is in his final season as a starter, he went 1-10. Right, so he's not playing because he, took a knee and now people want to shut him up. It's because he lost his ability to win, right? And then even if you bring in someone like that as a backup, you've got to deal with the PR headache of him screaming about police brutality after every football game when he should be talking about what you have to do to beat the Cowboys defense. Like that's why Kaepernick, and he's in the book also. That's why it's just a stupid thing that people say on Twitter, but it's good to call these things out. And community notes also corrected Mr. Sisson as well, so he's done. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, maybe I know him, you know him. I think listeners know him when they see him. Maybe he wouldn't make your book, but some of these lefty, very youngish influencers. You ever see the Midas Touch kid? My wife vaguely follows politics. But when that kid is on with Jennings on the Abby Phillips show, oh, my goodness, the punk face, the stuff that goes on, unbelievable. The Midas Touch kid, yeah.
And, I've been on plenty of sets where you do have like a certain space like that you probably should stay out of.
Yeah.
And this kid kept putting his finger and fist basically right up into Scott's face to the point where Scott's like, get that. And you dropped an F-bomb thing out of my face.
Yeah.
His name is Adam Mockler, and he looks exactly the way you would expect someone like this to look. Smug, condescending, perfect for Abby Phillips' show because she's two of those things as well. But, it's amazing the people that get on that show. If you're fired from a network or you work for some fringe outlet, trust me, you will have a safe home with Abby Phillip on a show that has more, I think, staffers than viewers at this point.
I saw something, too. You don't want to be raining on the Knicks parade, Joe. A little bit of fodder in case you were finishing the book. We've just been talking about you don't get to sit at courtside Game 6 with the Knicks, not quite at courtside. A little bit up, just up from that. $250,000 a seat in that section for Game 6. Yeah.
That's just amazing. And look, they haven't been to the finals, I think, since 99. They lost in 5 to the Spurs. Then they haven't won a championship since the early 70s. So New York is excited. But, the part where I hate to rain on everybody's parade is that this is the easiest path I have ever seen an NBA take to the finals. I mean, they only had to play a 5, a 6, and a 7 seed. The Hawks, who were an average team, the Sixers, who gave up completely, and then we saw the Cavs give up. I mean, let's face it, after game 2 at home, they weren't even competitive. They didn't seem like they wanted to be there. So now you got either the Spurs or the Thunder waiting, and those are two great teams. Wemby is probably the best player in the NBA right now. They're going to face a real team, and even though they'll be rested, I'm not saying they're going to get swept, but these people saying that, like Memdani, the mayor said that the Knicks are going to sweep. If they win, it'll be 7. It'll be tight, but I think the West is just so superior to the East.
Is Mamdani, do you have a special forward or addition to your book? Do you have anything in there on Mamdani?
Oh, God, plenty, yeah. And mainly that this guy is a profound anti-Semite, and it shows. And it was so great to see so many Jewish people, even Muslims, outside of Gracie Mansion yesterday saying enough is enough. Jews feel like they're hunted in this city. Mamdani doesn't put out anything regarding like true condemnation of these things. So the bottom line is that this kid, you wouldn't trust him to run a bath, let alone the most complex city in the country. And these proposals that he has, I mean, Dom, he wants to seize private property of any landlord he deems to be bad and then give it away to nonprofits and other people who didn't earn anything to own property in New York City. So he's a scary guy, and he does it with a smile, and he's good on social media. But I think the buyer's remorse is going to come in about a year when all the things he promised don't come to fruition because they cost this thing called money.
Well, Joe, that's a good insight. You know, it's one thing taxing you to the moon and all that. The tell is when they seize property. Now people, you would hope, understand this isn't even progressive. This is communist. That's where this guy's going.
Yeah, forget the socialist crap. I mean, the guy is a full-on communist.
Yeah, exactly.
Property. And Ken Griffin won't even return his calls. Ken Griffin's the CEO of the Citadel. And remember what Griffin did in Chicago when they decided to tax him out the wazoo. He said, all right, I'm moving my company, and we're going to go to Miami, where we won't have state income taxes. And Griffin was supposed to build a $6 billion hub in New York City, and now he's not going to do it. He's going to bring that to Miami as well, and it's all because Mamdani decided to put up this stupid video doxing his apartment, by the way, right, his penthouse, just blocks from where Brian Thompson was killed, the CEO of United Healthcare, so you don't want to be doing that, and then bragging about how he's going to raise Griffin's taxes. Griffin's like, oh, yeah, you know how I became a billionaire? I'm smart, and I know how to vote with my feet. I'm out of here. And now Mamdani can't even get him on the phone, and all that tax revenue, all those jobs, tens of thousands, all go with Ken Griffin because Mamdani was trying to be a show-off.
The talk show host, Joe Concha. Joe, do you deal with politics? Do you deal with pop culture more? Or is it just a Joe Concha, whatever strikes you?
It's everything. And you know what I do? All morning, I put together a bunch of sound bites from, and a lot of them you'll see on my Twitter feed. And I just play them, and I just go off on people. Like, it's really, really cathartic. So, I mean, Jackson Dart has led my show over the last three.
The way
he's
shows. On The View with him, he's going to get hurt. They're not going to block for him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to need extra padding. Okay. and Troy Behar even accused Jackson friggin' Dart of being a racist just because he introduced the president at a rally, the most benign thing you could remember. No one ever went off on Steve Kerr. He only spoke at the DNC, right? Megan Rapinoe, I'm not going to the effing White House if Trump's there, you know, and she gets the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Biden. So, yeah, the kid that was born in Utah and played at Ole Miss in good old Southeast Conference, yeah, he probably supports Trump. I think a lot of young men probably do from down there. This isn't shocking. And now people are even comparing him to Tim Tebow. And Dart came back today and said, let's not get out of hand. I just want to win games, and I support the president. That's it. The same thing happened to Tom Brady, by the way. Remember they found a MAGA hat in his locker?
Exactly.
He had explained it away for like a week. Like, how could you have something like that? He's like, I don't know. He's a hell of a fun guy to play golf with, and I've been friends with him since 2002. Screw you.
And he wants his daughter to marry me, not the other guy. That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, very, very, very good point. Yeah, so we have fun with it. It's just a lot of fun like we're having now.
Well, we can hardly wait for the book, Joe. And again, where do we follow you on Twitter? Because that's probably a great place to find everything that you're doing.
Absolutely. It's at Joe Concha TV on the Twitter. I don't really do Instagram all that much. If you go there, you'll just find a bunch of videos of my kids playing various sports. Like, it's not really a political thing for me there.
And, Joe, the Weekend Show on Fox, are you on that right now? Is that
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, big weekend show, so I'll be on there, not this weekend, but the weekend after. It's kind of a rotating thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of work. It's 3 hours, and you can't get up. So that's a heavy lift. I love doing that show more than anything. Obviously, it's great to host sometimes instead of being a guest. And the numbers are the numbers. It's either number one or number two every weekend. So I'm a lucky guy, a labor of love with my 5 jobs, and I'm coaching 2 of my kids' teams as well. So I don't rest all that much. I think that might be a problem.
Oh, well, get a little bit of rest, Joe. But we can hardly wait to have you back, though, even before the book. Joe, thank you very much today.
Thank you, Don. Have a good one, man.
All right, Joe Concha. Johnny, we're trying to get him there. Don't be bothering Henry. Can't Joe Concha come to this? Well, the book's out in pre-order. It's not out to Christmas. See, I was hoping he would say, it's going to be out on June 19th or something. That might be the ploy. Yeah, we'll back a truck up of the books. I think Joe Concha would get the platinum gold beer keg that he puts out and blocks spaces with there.
And I have to keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye out for it. It was the only one we know was a female. I don't know who else he's done it for. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about
that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're coming to your calls. The unlikable list there, only 100. Probably need 1,000. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. We got a lot on Larry Krasner today, too. Not 1, not 2, but he releases 3 people, or he gets them out of jail, who were convicted of murdering a woman in North Philly. And on top of that, he goes after the medical examiner, and he brings in a Philadelphia county where that person's working now, and how those cases might be suspect. You see, you're out in the suburbs, you think Larry Krasner doesn't. No, this menace is a menace all over the place. I'll explain that. And Larry, what about the medical examiners, a bunch of them, in the Greenberg case? What about them? 855-839-1210.
This is Jordan Lundy.
And this is Len Lundy. Lundy Law has won billions for our clients.
But more importantly, we've won the trust and confidence of thousands of people injured in motor vehicle crashes, slip and fall accidents, and work-related injuries.
My son and I hope we never meet you because of an accident. But if we do, we're here for you.
Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com for a free consultation.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
Today's Gold Price is brought to you by Edelman's Coins, Philadelphia's local bullion dealer, celebrating its 100th year anniversary, a 4th-generation company. Visit edelmanscoins.com to learn more. Today's gold market price is $4,490.30.
If clutter is costing you time, fix it right away. Closet Factory designs and installs custom storage for closets, pantries, and home offices. Schedule a free design consultation at closetfactory.com. Closetfactory.com.
It was just
one unforgettable night.
One of those things.
An evening with Harry Connick Jr.
Just one of those crazy flings.
Performing songs from across his remarkable career.
Welcome by me,
Harry Connick Jr.
Come talk to me, baby.
Friday, July 24th, Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Tickets are on sale now at theborgata.com.
You got to go see the Mardi Gras.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Is life insurance still on your list of New Year's resolutions? Now is the perfect time to add it. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Now, you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, it is Dom time. So Joe Concha referencing the Knicks. Big deal in New York now. Kathy Hochul jumps into the ring and says about Trump, who claims Knicks fandom, that he's a fraud. I'll ask him to name the starting lineup of the 1993 championship team. Well, it appears that the Knicks last won a title, Kathy, in 1973. That seems like too long. I haven't looked it up, but I believe it's accurate. And Trump, may or may not be able to name the 1993 team, but they weren't the champion. Who does the background work for these people? If you're going to go after Trump on this, say the 73 team, I guess. Or would people say, well, that's too long ago? I guess the 93 team made more sense. Oh, my God. Just incredible. Now, with Krasner. If he had half as much intent on putting criminals in jail that deserve to be in jail for the appropriate period of time, et cetera, right? And even meeting with the victims' families who wanted capital punishment for the maniac who killed Sergeant Fitzgerald at Temple. Instead, he's got all kinds of people working around the clock to get people out of jail. Now they claim 3 more people. This is the first time it's not been 1, 3. Who were convicted of murdering a woman in I don't have the date in front of me, but in North Philly. He's gotten out, and he goes after the medical examiner in that case, and then he tells everyone that medical examiner is working in Delaware County. You see how insidious this is. So you know what's going on now. No one's informed me of this, but my own instincts. He said they ought to be looking at all the cases involved there. Can you imagine? I don't know how many cases that would be with this person that Krasner has gone after here in this regard. But the lawyers involved with this, that's exactly what they'll do. So are we going to get more people who probably did multiple things, including murder, released in the area because of Krasner? He is a menace. I give him his props. He is an all-time insufferable menace. We have not seen anyone as arrogant, as out of control as this guy. And that's why I'm betting anything he's running for mayor against Sherelle Parker. And apparently, I'm looking at a story today, Sherelle Parker's feeling this. She was personally involved with the July 4th people. And instead of patriotism in America, she wanted to fortify all this with the Philly sound, and this is Philly. These people should not be entrusted with the heritage of the nation. Washington or New York, probably Washington, owns Memorial Day, July 4th now, not Philadelphia. They're too busy saying, let's put Will Smith up there. Let's put Jill Scott up there and a bunch of, they're at least from Philadelphia. I have no problem with the roots. I have no problem with that, but what's going on that day? Well, it's a party. That's it. That's all that we care about. and we're going to try to extract something political out of this by saying we own Philadelphia or something. Is it any wonder you don't own July 4th? Why would Philadelphia not own July 4th? It all started here, blocks away from where we are. The most historic, quarter mile, whatever they put it down as, in the entire country, in the world, when you consider America. And they're concerned about putting up a Philly show. Nothing. What's Christina Aguilera then? Is she learning a Philly dialect? I mean, come on. Make it just a bone. Throw a bone there of something patriotic. All right, 855-839-1210. We're coming to your calls next. All-time journey. I'm going to take Columbus off. I was waiting for that. Yeah. And
I was going to take a different one off, too.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Leif Erikson. He beat Columbus to America.
Okay, that's a good. And
Is
I'm going
Joe
to
from Columbus off the board too.
Well, that's Joe of Columbus. You can see. You better get in here quick, buddy. And I'm going to take Moses off. Now, I don't know if he wandered in the desert for 40 years.
That's what they say.
40 years. So, wow.
I was just telling Henry that I'm surprised that Joe from Exxon mentioned Moses crossing the Red Sea.
Yeah, man, that's he didn't have any kind of MapQuest or any 40 years.
Well, that's probably why they were out there for 40 years.
Yeah, right.
MapQuest,
yeah, that's right.
No Apple Maps.
Yeah, nothing. We're going to talk with Jeff Van Drew. As you know, he has been big time involved with the parking lot surrounding ICE in Newark, Delaney, the center where Mikey Sherrill and others have made such a spectacle of this, including that Senator Andy Kim, who got sprayed. I'll give you more details on that coming up. You get in at 855-839-1210. So, Kathy Hochul, get some better staffers. You probably have like 500. If you want to ask Trump to name the 93 team, I can't see.
It wasn't even that year. They didn't go to the finals. It was the next year.
Right. Well, I don't see Trump even. God knows what he might say. Was Patrick Ewing wouldn't have been on that. It couldn't be 32. He was on it? Okay. Yeah. The 94 team. Okay.
Him and John Starks.
Starks, was Johnson on that one, or was Johnson later? He might have been on that, I think.
Who's Johnson?
Yeah. Larry.
Oh, I think that was later, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board right now, and we'll take your calls next on Talk Radio 1210.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock T-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. My friends at Bob's Little Sports Shop, they want to help you exercise your Second Amendment rights safely and confidently. Family owned and operated for more than 60 years, they'll help you from the permit application to choosing the right firearm for you. Ladies, sign up now for Bob's all-female shoot. Sunday, June 7th at 2 p.m. No firearms ID card or experience needed. Visit bobslittle.sportshop.com. It's a great event and a great place. This ad sponsored by Bob's Little Sports Shop.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hi, our strong reputation for offering the lowest possible prices brings so many new customers to National Appliance Warehouse. They shop confidently knowing that Price Assure is always working to confirm the National Appliance Warehouse price is the best available. What keeps bringing them back is the experience they receive. At National Appliance Warehouse, we're guided by our what if policy, meaning what if this customer was my parent, child, or friend? We provide the same 5-star service we deliver to our own family. You deserve it all. The lowest prices on the perfect new appliances and a delightful, satisfying experience. That's how National Appliance Warehouse customers become our friends.
The Memorial Day Mega Sale is underway at National Appliance Warehouse. Upgrade your laundry for less with Whirlpool. Get a top-load laundry pair from Whirlpool, regularly $7.49 each for only $498.88 each. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Spring is here, and that means wind, rain, and roofing problems. When it comes to protecting your home, go with the real deal. Impriano Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Family owned and operated for 53 years. One of the only roofing companies still run by the original family. They're the experts in the industry. That's experience. That's integrity. That's the real deal. Call 610-644-4444 for your free estimate today. The best homes have an Impriano roof.
When the doctor informed me that I had to be transplanted, I froze. I was in shock.
Mr. Gatling was on dialysis. He had end-stage kidney failure. Transplants are some of the most complex procedures in medicine.
I received a kidney transplant at Virtual Health.
We are the only transplant center in South Jersey.
I can stay in my own backyard. I thank them for keeping me alive.
Virtua Health, the only transplant center in South Jersey. Here for good. Learn more at virtua.org.
Chuck McDowell here with Red Pocket Mobile. How long have you been stuck with the same phone plan? 2 years? 5? 10? Are you tired of surprise fees and confusing bills that never match what you thought you were paying? Cut the nonsense.
Right now at redpocket.com, new and existing customers adding a line can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. That's only $60 a year.
And here's the kicker. Red Pocket Mobile gives you access to all 3 5G networks. You pick the one that works best where you live or work, or switch anytime for better coverage. And with Red Pocket, you keep your phone and your number. Why in the world would you not switch? Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Celebrate Memorial Day with big savings from Red Pocket Mobile. Right now, new and existing customers can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. Just $60 a year, and choose from all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price at redpocket.com. That's redpocket.com. redpocket.com.
All right, it is Dom time. So Stacey Garrity, follow me on this, is going to be on the show on Friday. I'm going to try a little bit more to, and look, they don't have the money yet. Make the point with Josh Shapiro and his willing sycophants in the media, the issue to break through with. Sure, school choice, he is just a liar. But the issue, for him, it's blatant. He's come out on the trans side in female sports. Tallarico was on last night, and I'm looking at this on media, a service that we use, with the late night, which host was he on with? He was on with O'Donnell. And O'Donnell is very sympathetic to him. We'll play you what Paxson called him. I think it's cut 9 that most of these are in. Tallarico, things like this. And 3 times, O'Donnell gave him a chance to respond and rebut the trans issue. And instead, and that's why he asked him 3 times, he just went after Paxson as a puppet and how this is just divide and conquer. Okay, you can say divide and conquer all you want. What's your response to that? And I think O'Donnell wasn't doing this. He wants Tallarico to win. Of course. He was doing it because he senses that in a place like Texas, how are you going to win with something like this? And the answer is Paxson is a very good campaigner. Now, I don't like the guy even a little bit, all the baggage and all the stuff that's involved, but okay. It's about policy. It's about what he's going to do in the Senate. Here is Paxson bringing that up. And this 6 gender thing, which Tallarico, I don't know how he arrived at 6. He probably thinks it's more than that. This is cut 9.
And finally, he's a threat to our very way of life and our values. I mean, he's a vegan who thinks God is non-binary and that there's actually 6 biological sexes. It's hard to imagine someone more radical than that.
Okay. I missed, yeah, that's a little bit of, I think 13 is a little bit more meat on the bone here, or tofu on the bone. Cut 13.
This campaign is not about red versus blue. It's about so much more. My opponent is the most extreme radical the Democrats have ever nominated. He's even running a vegan campaign, whatever that is. He goes by a few names that you may all have heard of. Some people know him as Tofu Tallarico. Some people call him 6 Gender Jimmy. I've even heard some people call him James Tallarico. And others refer to him simply as Low T Tallarico. But no matter what you call him, let me tell you this. James Tallarico is a threat to everything we hold dear in this state and in this country. He's a threat to our security and our safety. He wants open borders and even said a welcome mat should be at our southern border. He's a threat to our children. He wants boys and girls sports, gender mutilation surgery performed on kids. And when asked what he loved outside of his family and friends, you heard what Brandon Gill said. His first answer was trans kids. That's weird, and that's a radical guy. He's a threat to our prosperity and Texas economy. He said you can't be a Christian if you support the oil and gas industries. He wants to raise your taxes, and he won't do a single thing to lower costs for you and your family. And finally, he's a threat to our very way of life and our values. I mean, he's a vegan who thinks God is non-binary and that there's actually 6 biological sexes. It's hard to imagine someone more radical than that. No matter what he says or how much he raises, the reality is that James Tallarico is going to be nothing more than a Texas-based puppet for Chuck Schumer and the National Democrats. Yes.
All right. So, again, Lawrence O'Donnell sensing this, the 6 genders, Jimmy, and all that stuff, right? And the trans stuff, which he's talked about a lot. And all Tallarico could muster is pretty much gone after Paxson. And yes, there's incredible baggage there. Indictment after indictment, the stuff with his wife that is beyond ridiculous on his part. All true. But with Josh Shapiro, we know how big this race is. This is the one issue where he has sort of gotten in there, calling people folks. Remember, as soon as he says that, you know where he's going. He's trying to be folksy. And the bottom line is he's talking about, yeah, boys ought to be in that. Constantly. They can't get off this issue. He senses to be president, he's going to have to stay in that lane. That's an area. And when they say, well, why are you not talking about this? I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. And the reason is this issue opens up to everybody. Wait a minute. You mean this guy really believes men, boys ought to be out there beating up? Yeah, they do. That's what they're telling you. And they keep on trying different reasons to get away with it. And it's a tell. We can argue policy papers all the day long. Stacey Garrity can say, I'll have X amounts of Marcellus shale. You only had X. We can do that all day long. People see this. They get an inkling of this. And maybe they see Shapiro then in a different light versus the, quote, moderate. It's indefensible. Even the best trying to defend it can't do it. I also told you he did this interview, this place. I haven't been over there. You have to tell me. You can hit me on Twitter. Is it really that good? Angelo's. A couple people have told me about it. Pizza. So he does this sit down with Politico. And you can see it's so blatant when they get to the stuff about Israel. He's going after Netanyahu. That's the card he'll play constantly, going after Netanyahu. I didn't play yet, Henry, and I just saw him on TV, too. Yeah, here. You know what? We got people waiting, but bring me back to cut 7 here in a minute. I want to be, I don't want people to wait all day. But Mark Wayne Mullen talking about, they're still looking at, but he went a little more explicit. Please do this. And that is take out customs enforcement and all that. And then they can't operate internationally from Philadelphia Airport. Do it. Do it to every. You're out there saying, how many times do they talk about sanctuary cities, how bad they are, go after them? And then they laugh at us because you can't take the money away. Mark Wayne Mullen and Trump, if you really want to do this, take away their ability to have the federal government look at customs coming through. Then what are they going to do? They can't have international travel then in any way, shape, or form. Can you imagine? Now, Krasner will threaten to jail Mark Wayne Mullen, I guess. I'll play you what he said in a moment. But first, Joe of Columbus, New Jersey. Hey, Joe, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom. The thing is...
You have some tent?
the thing hold on, Dom.
Sure.
I'm getting gassed. Sorry. the thing you conjure up in me regularly is the fear that of the left's need to go neutralize the right is to go so far left that watch what you ask for, Americans, because you're going to get it. It's just scary what they're willing to go with these days.
Well, of course, but that's why, well, on any number of issues, we're winning, but it takes time to win, which is a good thing because you win more elections that way.
But the people who are willing to accept this compromise, you wonder where their thought processes are. You know, let's get this guy in there so we can get, the conservative out, the MAGA out. It's a really scary future. I don't impart on my kids, but it's right there, within an arm's reach.
How much is gas where you are, Joe?
$4.27 a gallon.
Oh, we're seeing, I know that oil prices are going down. Yeah. Based upon what we've seen. Now, what was that? Cheltenham race yesterday was $5.49, Lance?
Yep.
That's, what the heck is going on there?
Cash or credit.
Oh, God. Yeah. So,
no, I'm not, Dom, I'm not settling for that as a relief. I want to see it back in the twos again. You know?
Right. Yeah, if we can get something out of Iran, it will, I don't think overnight, but over a couple months, yes.
Sure. Dom, my journey is the magical journey of mystery and faith down the aisle of matrimony.
That is a very good one. Did you have second thoughts or anything like that?
No, me and my brother made a day of it. We got up at 3:00 in the morning, and for nostalgia reasons, there's this golf course we used to sneak on all the time when we were kids because we had no money. We loaded up our golf bags with a bunch of warm beer, and we snuck on a golf course, played 18 holes, and then went to all my groomsmen.
Very nice, Joe. That's an unusual type of thing. Yeah, I didn't have any second thoughts. Ro better have had second thoughts. She's probably thinking, oh, my God. And just think of her journey from, established, safe position teaching into the world of talk radio. So that was quite a journey. All right. Robert in Ben Salem next here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Dom, Henry. It's good to talk to you guys today.
Same here.
Dom, I think we have another Domism, Dom. Up and down the line. I'm going to put that into my book of Domism, so whenever I get the nerve to impersonate you. But I called my state rep to Casey Tomlinson to see if she was on board with what Brian Fitzpatrick was doing. She called me back, was very nice, pretty non-committal, seemed knowledgeable of it, but said I don't go to Washington. I go to Harrisburg. I would have to read up on the bill. And it wasn't the answer I was looking for, but I'm still going to give her the benefit of the doubt. However, you will be having a listener get a vote in the midterms, Dom. I am going to do a write-in for Brian Fitzpatrick's race, and I can't think of anything better to write in than Robert from Ben Salem. What do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's get that moving. Yeah.
Okay, I'll get to my side answer. I was very perilous of taking off a epic answer that kind of belongs in the company of my friend Xenos. But there is a movie called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And that is about three convicts. Two of them were tricked into escaping the chain gang to look for a treasure that didn't exist. They journeyed through the South, saw John Goodman was a Cyclops. They saw the singing women. It was a beautiful play on another epic story that I cannot mention. But I'm going to go with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And anybody who wants to see that movie, it's a good movie. So go ahead and see it. But I really appreciate the time, Dom.
Thank you, Congressman, very much. Yeah, better than Brian Fitzpatrick, at least. At least she called you back. All right, now here is Mark Wayne Mullen. If they actually do this versus threaten this, I'm telling you, this is a shot across the bow. Finally, these sanctuary cities saying, hey, we're going to do what we want. This is Philadelphia, the federal government. You can't do anything about it. Here's what Mullen said. I don't think this was at the cabinet. He did talk about this at the cabinet meeting today, too. But here's what he said about drawing up plans to halt international flights to cities that don't cooperate with ICE.
We have arrested thousands, tens of thousands, gang members that are in categories of terrorists. We have arrested known terrorists just in this facility alone. We have child rapists, we have sexual assault, we have murderers. We have drug traffickers, a long history of criminal activity, and they are sitting in this facility right now. These are the individuals that these radical left Democrats want us to release back on the streets. So they would rather release them back on the streets and allow them to literally terrorize their own communities than to keep them locked up and deport them. And that's what Antifa and these anti-ICE radical protesters are doing. And guess what? The people that they elected are joining right beside them. And you just can't make sense out of this, especially the fact that local law enforcement wouldn't respond. And so I visited with the White House today, Sean, and I said, if they're going to not allow us to go out and arrest the worst of the worst, and then when we call for assistance at the facilities, that the street, it belongs to the city. If it belonged to us, we would take care of it, but it belongs to the city, and they're barricading our employees from coming in and out of the facility, then why are we processing international flights into the airport there? And we are currently, which we're not initiating yet, but we're currently drawing up plans to say, listen, in these sanctuary cities, where the local radical left Democrats aren't allowing us to do our job and enforce federal laws, then we shouldn't be processing international flights into their cities either, because they don't want us to enforce immigration, but they want us to process immigration at their facilities. Nothing about that makes sense to me.
All right, do it. Do it. I mean, don't make idle threats with these people. You heard what he said there, too. Now, Van Drew's on the show today, Jeff Van Drew at 2 o'clock. They don't control the sidewalks. The city does in Newark, you can imagine. So they're setting up all kinds of barricades so that ICE agents can't get into the facility or out of the facility, but even into it to go to work. This is what they're engaged in. And again, you can then move them aside. You have to send out a mass force, continue to do this. But apparently what he's suggesting is you can't stop them from setting them up because that's a city thing. And in Newark, the cops are not going to cooperate with you. I don't know if they would in Philadelphia either. Do it. If you're going to, this is, I think, something very effective. Now, I don't know what Philadelphia would do. They probably try to go to court. They try to stop it. Krasner would be down there. You know the whole deal. But I think the federal government has that power. If not, what power do we have to stop cities who say they're not going to follow the law on people being here illegally? Even people that are vicious criminals, et cetera, not even people that broke into the country but don't have violent crimes. Do it. They keep talking about it. This seems like they're edging closer to it. And this would be something where there's not, a lot of push-pull with people like in Minnesota. It's more doing something that is paperwork legally. Do it. What would Philadelphia do? All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Hit us with that all-time journey, some kind of journey, real, physical, real or fictional. That's what we're looking for, coming off the Odyssey and all this talk about it. Those calls are next. We'll talk with Jeff Van Drew at 2 o'clock here on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Just to point out how great this show is, Dawn Stensland, Greg Stocker, everybody involved. We are crushing it in the YouTube game.
Thank you for making us the #1 viewed news talk show in Odyssey.
And if you ever miss the show, you can always get the podcast on iTunes, where we have a 4.9 out of 5. Vicky Herz, Herz, says, the only podcast that truly feels like a family, especially when you watch on YouTube. Aww. They tell the truth, they debate.
And we fight.
And most of all, they start at 6 a.m.
Wow.
Thankfully, with the podcast, I can listen anytime.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Horizon Plumbing and Electrical knows that when spring showers are coming down so hard it seems like Mother Nature traded out cats and dogs for lions and bears, you'll be glad you called us to clear your blocked drains and prevent dangerous power surges so your home can stay safe and comfortable. Plus, with Horizon's same-day water heater installs and repairs with no emergency service fees, we work fast to ensure you have all the plumbing and electrical help you need. So book horizonservices.com now and enjoy the comfort of your home without worrying about whatever kind of zoo that's coming down out there.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
If you're ready to propose, step up to the fifth C. Color, cut, clarity, carrot, and cozy. At Cozy Jewelers, you sit down directly with Paul to design a custom engagement ring that tells your story. And because he's the manufacturer, you get exceptional quality and value. No mass-produced settings, no shortcuts. Every piece is carefully inspected before it leaves. For a ring built to last generations, go see Paul at Cozy Jewelers.
This is Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. When we say we hope you're never injured on the job, we mean it. But if you should suffer a work injury, we'll work quickly and tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. And we mean it when we say there are never any upfront fees, ever. And we only get paid when your case is over and you get paid. Remember our name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com.
The big Memorial Week sale continues today through Sunday at TurnersvilleJeep.com. Save big this week on a huge selection of over 300 Jeeps and Ram trucks.
Don't have a down payment?
No problem. We work with dozens of banks who offer 0 down payments and no payments for 90 days to qualified buyers. Don't miss this huge Memorial Week sale today through Monday at TurnersvilleJeep.com. Just minutes from all bridges or online 24/7 at TurnersvilleJeep.com.
Summer is almost here, and it's the perfect time to start stocking up on easy treats from Tasty Cake. The baked peach pie is a sweet fruit-filled snack that feels like warm weather is on the way. And the lemon cupcakes are perfect for backyard hangs, weekend outings, and all those busy on-the-go summer days that are right around the corner. Simple fun and ready for the season ahead. Tasty Cake, accept no substitutes.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano show. You know, it's a lane that Republicans have to get involved in more. Now we have Letitia James, of course, of ilk of New York, Attorney General, and Davenport, who's making her way, Mikey Sherrill's buddy. They're suing FIFA because they allege FIFA put out these 4 zones. And then people took the most desirable. And then when they got their tickets, they changed it to say you had to buy the seats in the most desirable seats in the 4 zones, not the original deal. What I'm saying is, think about how complicated, costly, small printy, just made that one up, and annoying it is just to go and see a football match, a soccer match, or anything for that matter. And it's made up stuff. Again, the Trump administration dropped the ball. And it's too much cronyism with this FIFA guy. Not just FIFA, but they dropped the ball in general. Dave Sunday here in Pennsylvania is on it. So you got to depend on the state attorneys general, who are still suing under the grounds that we talked about, which are not anti-capitalist or anything. It's about the fact there's a lot of bait and switch. There's a monopoly here with the Live Nation stuff at their venues, and then it can charge essentially what they want. But FIFA, I would say, name a corrupt or fraudulent organization. All right, Philadelphia Public Schools and FIFA. Close call. I still got to go FIFA on this one, though, I think. It's close, though. Man, if I get that principal on, I don't know if this will last for more than a moment. You know, the Phillies wouldn't take the field with only 7 out of 9 players. That's why now it's big ride share. Suddenly a service that people were welcoming to the unions weren't. Remember Yellow Cab, but now they are. They're going after them. So you got all these people going after FIFA. I think they're correct. Now, who is it that made the deals with them? Well, Trump did, or more likely, the real deals were made at the state level. They wanted all this here. They were all over this in New York and New Jersey. And we see the outcome of it. They're incredibly corrupt. They have crack cocaine, in quotes, and people want crack cocaine, which is the World Cup. This is not even crack cocaine. I guess it has like elephant tranquilizer in there or something, too. This is like, we'll pay anything. I just told you, I'd love to interview the morons that are going to pay $250,000 a seat for Game 6 of the NBA Finals in Madison Square Garden that are not even where Spike Lee and all that are. What the heck are they playing? Or maybe the celebrities don't pay. They're good for, I'm not sure. They still must.
Yeah, they have to.
Maybe they cut a deal, though. I'm not sure. You know, a certain level of celebrity. Maybe. I'm not saying free, but they can't be paying $1 million to stand there, are they?
I think they would. It's just the Knicks have never been in this scenario before. I don't think we've seen it happen.
Well, this is beyond crack cocaine. $250,000. All right. So, again, the reason this is public is that all kinds of public deals were made here. Phil Murphy was one of the people that really quarterbacked this whole thing. Trump gets trophies from this FIFA guy, and the Trump administration dropped this monopoly thing. They said it was settled. It's not settled. And again, we can't quarterback everything here. Americans care about this stuff. It shouldn't be that difficult. And again, I hope I'm saying it clearly. Davenport would look into FIFA's ticket prices overall. As they say, prices far exceeded those of previous World Cups in other countries, using variable pricing to adjust ticket prices based on demand. Dynamic. Springsteen. FIFA raised ticket prices for more than 90 of the 144 matches being played at tournament, on average a 34% increase. Well, what the hell do you think they're going to do? You know, this is what they're going to do. They're estimated to make, was it $11 billion or something off this when you slice everything? I'm surprised that no one's saying, you know, one of the things I kid about, by the way, Johnny, I don't know if that signs up. Dom Giordano Day brings $1 million in economic revenue to Wildwood. I want the mayor to put a proclamation out on that, Henry, so work on that detail.
Okay.
But as we were speaking with Joe Concha, he was tweeting at Joe Concha to come to Mulligan's.
Yeah, I saw that. I told him earlier.
For Dom Day. Keep it up. Let's get enough people, you know, at Joe Concha. You can follow him on Twitter.
Retweet it.
Well, we can bring the Trump book. He can autograph it.
Yeah.
So, if you can send him a note. I mean, if he would consider. I know he's a really busy guy. But we would promote beyond belief.
Oh, totally.
The likable book. But the Trump book, people would love to. He can, I know Scott Rutter's going to be there. Could we have 3 book signings in Mulligan's? All-time record.
Wow.
Scott Presler's, Scott Rutter, and Scott Concha. I want all Scotts. We have to take out the Joe. Nice work, though, Johnny. We're going to get Joe Concha. He is a heck of a guest. He really is. He gets it big time. So why don't Republicans jump into this? And again, you know, I know they know their business, say in the governor's race with Stacey Garrity. I can only sit here and tell you some of the things I think that move people, like the trans issue in sports. But people are tired of this, that it cannot be that costly. This is not capitalism to go to an event like this. Who made these deals? Who did it in New York? Was it Hochul? I don't know who had the power to make these deals where they jacked up prices by this amount. So what's the Jersey woman going to do, the Attorney General? Is she going to stop some of the games? Can you imagine? I'm stopping the final here. It's too costly. What would happen? Riots with these people, right? But the New York stinking Knicks, no wonder why they come here. Now, it's funny. This is how capitalism works of a sort. We get the baggage of those Knicks fans coming here because it's $250,000 a seat for one of the better seats for Game 6. Oh, my God.
That's what I was saying when the Knicks were playing the Sixers. We're poor. They're not. They can afford to, afford Josh Harris's jacked up prices. We can't.
I don't know that they can afford it as much as they're willing to go into hock. The 250 is probably people that can quote. I would tell them they can't afford it because if something goes wrong and there's a downturn, suddenly $500,000 looks pretty good to have in your account.
Oh, well, yeah.
If you're riding along, then you hear, they end up, they're working as an Uber somewhere 5 years from now. You go, whoa, how did that happen?
Well, I'm just talking like a $500 ticket for the Sixers gets you pretty close.
Right.
$500 ticket for the Knicks, at least for the finals, doesn't get you anywhere. But, versus the Sixers probably get you in the last section up in the nosebleeds. That's why they came down here, because it's just, it's so much more money there.
Yeah, we have to deal with this dispersal due to ticket price. This is still a nugget, though. Wow. That is stunning. But the whole FIFA thing, you're going to see this play out more. Philadelphia somehow or another didn't make this deal with them. I guess we're not the epicenter, sort of. It doesn't seem to be as bad here. I mean, it's still outrageous, but that's what you want to pay for. That's what you want to pay for. 855-839-1210. So I thought I'd ask you, for any event, what is the most that you ever paid? God only knows what's out there. You may have to use an assumed name because you don't want to admit it, okay? And was Springsteen in town last night? I don't see it in the Inquirer. I know he's alleged, I think it was last night, going after Trump again. But it's 855-839-1210. Hit us with that all-time journey. There's still any number of really good ones out there coming off the Odyssey here. All-time journey. By the way, we need some more female callers on the Sideway. Had some yesterday, too. You can get in on that. And I would love to have Joe Concha there with his book or not. Yeah, just a heck of a guest, really, on that. Fox ought to use them a lot more. Hey, are you sick of prices we're talking about that are constantly rising, especially on some of your basic health essentials? Well, you're not alone, and Rescue is doing something about it. This Memorial Month, Rescue Natural Supplements is featuring huge rollback prices on all their products, from cholesterol and metabolic support to their best-selling high-intensity omega-3s. What's more, you can actually stack your savings. When you buy 2 or more bottles, you'll get bonus bottles for free. Go to res-q.com to shop these deals, stock up on your favorites, or try something new that fits your health goals. Rescue products are meticulously crafted, rigorously tested, and rooted in the belief that wellness should be personal, effective, and grounded in science. So what are you waiting for? Just stack up those savings with major rollback prices on top of Memorial Month deals site-wide. Shop today at res-q.com or call a product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Now's the best time to put your health first and start feeling better. Just go to res-q.com.
You've put in the work to get that first job, moved up the ranks, or started a family. Now it's time to take your success to the next level. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we're here to help you keep that momentum going with educational programs built around real-world, in-demand career skills. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus timeless skills like leadership, communication, critical thinking, and more. Affordable, accredited, and online. A UMGC education fits your life so you can keep growing while you keep going. You've succeeded before. Now succeed again. At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way of your next achievement. Not doubt, not your life stage, and especially not an application fee. Just apply by June 1st and we'll waive your application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415. Or find them online at retirereadyfg.com and get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Attention PA New Jersey home sellers over 60. The silver tsunami is not coming, it is here. More empty nesters selling equals more competition. And the truth is, prepared homes will sell, overpriced homes will sit, and unprepared sellers will take forever to sell and for less money. Diane Giordano Casaccio, broker owner of Giordano Realtors here, and join me for my next home seller seminar June 9th at 5 p.m. in Fort Washington for wine, appetizers, and a meet and greet with Dom Giordano. Seminar starts at 6. Learn how to prepare early, avoid costly mistakes, sell fast, and create your game plan before the market gets more competitive. Every attendee gets a free copy of one of my home selling books. Diane Giordano says, your worst nightmare is when your home does not sell. RSVP now. Learn what you should have done first. Call 215-576-8666 or go to 215-576-8666.com.
Weather sponsored by D&K Appliances.
Shower chances will decrease heading through the afternoon. It'll stay warm and humid with a high of around 82. For tonight, becoming partly cloudy, low 66 for the city, a bit cooler in the suburbs, and a less humid day on Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds with a high near 80.
Sponsored by D&K Appliances, family owned and operated, offering industry-leading brands like Bosch, GE Profile, Speed Queen, KitchenAid, Sub-Zero, and more. They're local experts guiding you through sales, delivery, installation, and service. Visit D&K Appliances at Newtown Square in Flourtown or dkappliances.com.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Dom Giordano Show, great side question. We're going to get a lot out of this Odyssey. I can just see it. There's still a lot of stuff bubbling over this. 855-839-1210. All-time journey is what we're looking for. All right, here are the ladies on The View. Of course, you know, they didn't have Monday, so yesterday they used to bring their football and sports expertise and common sense to the Jason Dart thing. And it seems like, Jackson Dart things. Why is it Jason coming away? Yeah, it's J-A-X. It's Jackson. Talking about even suggesting extra padding. In other words, Sonny Hostin and others, 75% of players are black. How can they be expected that this guy would go and introduce Trump because all they care about is redistricting, having their vote taken away? Really? Here's how it sounded.
And the people on the field, having been on teams, you know, the whole point is we're in this together. And it's kind of got that foxhole mentality of we're out there, we're playing together. To not, even if that is what you believe, which I let anyone, that's the beauty of America. It's the most liberal belief that we can all have our own belief. I get that. But there would be consequences. You're the quarterback, which is a central player on that field.
The leader.
A leader. And the majority, it's actually 75% of the New York Giants and the NFL as a whole are black or non-white.
Yeah.
To not think about the most recent offenses from the 8 video to these voting rights things, which even people that aren't that dialed in are recognizing, wait, are you now just going to marginalize and completely disenfranchise? To have thought about how that might feel to your team, the ones that are on the field with you, I would have handled it differently.
Maybe he needs a little extra padding.
Well, all right, the extra padding. And there was the language, you know, about you have to consult with these guys. Are you going to be okay because we're marginalizing you so much with the redistricting, which, by the way, the Supreme Court was the decision, rightfully so, taking away racism. These districts that were set up in a different era, whose time has passed, and that's all the decision is. Now, do I think Dart and his teammates on the Giants would be debating that? No, I think they saw this guy for some reason, thought he might be somebody amenable to Trump, and here's an opportunity to introduce the president of the United States. And here they're othering him. If it were Biden, you wouldn't have to consult on anything, or certainly if it were Obama, you wouldn't have to consult that a policy of his or something is offensive in some way, shape, or form. That's what this is all about. That's how crazy this whole thing is. But explaining that, the rationality of that. So, again, did he enunciate any policy? Even if he did, who would he consult with? Well, he'd have to go to his teammates. He's the quarterback and all, saying, how do you feel about this? Suppose they say, no, you can't do that. I find that offensive if you do that. That's what they appear to be saying here. I think this has died down, then another spasm of it picks up. I don't think Dart's going to apologize or say anything like that. I think the Giants are just trying to move on. But it's amazing how they view this, particularly if you're the quarterback, then somebody like Trump, my God. All right, let's go to Phil in Delaware, looking for that all-time journey.
Have a good one.
Hey, Phil. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon and Happy New Year to you.
Well, thank you, Phil.
So a couple things real quick. One, it's interesting that all of a sudden the DHU, those little teeny houses that Mondami's been saying about people can add in their backyard anywhere, all of a sudden in my municipality, they want to do the same thing. And I said, how are you going to monitor it? There's no way. You're opening up a Pandora's box that once you allow it, you won't be able to control who's renting, who's selling, who's, and once again, they just say, I don't know where you're getting your information from. I said, well, 12:10 a.m. and they start, and they start going nuts again. But,
yeah, well, I'm going to play that cut of Mondani. And as we said earlier with Joe Concha, Phil, it's one thing, garden variety liberalism, we're going to tax you. When they're going to take your property, now we've crossed the line into something much different.
Well, and then you have the added thing. Mondami's been going after this, food desert, over-expensive groceries.
Mm-hmm.
In one article today, it basically shows they spent $25 million on a little grocery store like 3-4 years ago, and he wants to put more money in it. And what I don't understand is I'm a customer, I'm a consumer, so are you. If I get a savings of 50 cents on a box of cereal, great, affordability. Oh, shoot. My taxes go up 200% to pay for these groceries. Don't they get it? What's so difficult?
Also, I can give you my review from afar. I'm not buying any fruit, particularly any guacamole or anything like that. That's not coming from that store. That's going to be difficult. But what's your side, Phil?
The ultimate one that Elton John framed, the Yellow Brick Road Wizard of Oz.
Yep,
that's the ultimate triple.
That is a example of the journey. How the journey is, the storytell usually revolves around a journey of some sort, a journey of one emotional space to another or a physical journey. And why is Huck Finn, well, I know why they say, the American, all right, maybe To Kill a Mockingbird, even that, many schools won't put in there. They call it the white savior complex with To Kill a Mockingbird. I get the language in Huck Finn, but it is the book, and it is the whole point of the book is against racism. All right, 855-839-1210. Coming up, I'll play you that Mondani cut where he does talk about now we're going to take these apartments, rentals, from these landlords that they determine are bad, and they're going to take them from them. Now, are there landlords? What's the effective way to do that? To enforce rigorously whatever the laws are on the books about apartments, about conditions, et cetera. and you have to be diligent. You have to have good people in charge. If you need to fine them more, if you need to have other penalties, okay, I think there's plenty already there in a place like New York. But no, this is about taking away property. That's the line. And I'll play you the former, I don't know if she is the former or still involved, the Sia Weaver, New York City's tenant director, what she said about this a while back, and they're actually doing it now. Jeff Van Drew at 2 o'clock to talk about the parking lot battle at the ICE Detention Center in Newark. All that straight ahead on Talk Radio 1210.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. And I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
When the doctor informed me that I had to be transplanted, I froze. I was in shock.
Mr. Gatling was on dialysis. He had end-stage kidney failure. Transplants are some of the most complex procedures in medicine.
I received a kidney transplant at Virtual Health.
We are the only transplant center in South Jersey.
I can stay in my own backyard. I thank them for keeping me alive.
Virtual Health, the only transplant center in South Jersey. Here for good. Learn more at virtua.org.
You know what I love? American-made products, baby. That's right. It's Rich Zioli. American-made products, and that's what you get from Emmons Roofing and Siding. Owens Corning shingles are made in New Jersey. Certainteed siding made right outside of Philly. Provia windows and doors handcrafted in Ohio. And because Emmons is platinum with Owens Corning, your roof comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. That's accountability on American-made quality from an American company right in our backyard. EmmonsRoofing.com. EmmonsRoofing.com.
Today's Gold Price is brought to you by Edelman's Coins, Philadelphia's local bullion dealer, celebrating its 100th year anniversary, a fourth-generation company. Visit edelmanscoins.com to learn more. Today's gold market price is $4,490.30.
Make growing your savings part of your summer plans. Open a First Harvest Credit Union 8-month share or IRA certificate and earn 3.5% annual percentage yield. Or choose our 18-month option and earn 3.4% annual percentage yield. Explore all your options at firstharvestcu.com/certificates, including our growth savings and growth checking accounts. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
For the pulse of the city, even if it ain't pretty.
The Dom Giordano program.
On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
I would have accepted Johnny Cash as an answer here. Yeah, exactly. Associated with it. It's unbelievable. That guy's one of the most underrated performers of all time. Never saw him in person, but just a sense of some of the stuff he was engaged in is big-time stuff. Noted music critic, little Congressman Brendan Boyle, on Twitter says, Freedom 250 announces the music icons who will be performing at the Great American State Fair on the National Mall, June 25th through July 10th. The only two that I see are Martina McBride and CNC Music Factory, who I don't know. But the Martina McBride might be a conservative thing there. So I wonder what Brendan Boyle says about the Philadelphia lineup. Oh, it's blockbuster. Scale of 1 to 10, any mention of July 4th patriotism there, Brendan? That's it. Continue to take shots at Washington. At least I get a feel for July 4th with them, even though I don't know that their names are overwhelming most years, that it's actually July 4th. But I don't even see the overwhelming here in Philadelphia. Christina Aguilera is a name, but is that overwhelming? How about some July 4th? All right, let's go to Zenos on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Zenos, afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom, and Yasu to you now.
Well, thank you. Yasu to you too, buddy.
And everybody in the studio. You got to say Yasu. It's like hello and goodbye.
Okay.
Yasu.
Ciao, Zenos. I'll stick with my
Well,
people.
we can do the chow, too. You know, us Greeks, we use chow.
Yeah,
hey, chow.
sure.
Hey,
Chow.
hey, Spiro, chow. Joey, chow. Yasu. We got the whole thing going down. It's una razza mia faccia. That means one race, one face, Italian Greece. So
okay, that's right. Very tight.
Now, Dom, I'm gonna go with the ultimate. My great uncle 1,000 times was Alexander the Great, and here's a man that started from Macedonia with the help of the Spartans that were allies that went all the way to northern India and conquered the known world. And that is a journey in itself. And he did it at the age of 32. Now, remember what Robert said about that movie? He is right. I've seen that movie. That movie is good. And The Wizard of Oz is good, Dom. But they're all based on one thing. And you know which one it is. It's the thing of Odysseus. All that is based on Odysseus.
Gotcha. Thank you, Zenos.
I knew he was going to do Alexander the Great.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew it.
Oh, of course. That's why I didn't take that one. That is quite a journey. And I don't know if it's true. He said, now a man's reach must exceed his grasp, or what's heaven for? Is that what he said? Meaning, I conquered the whole world. Now what do I do?
Right.
By the way, President Trump in the cabinet meeting today said that the owner of the Knicks wants him to be there for the NBA Finals. And he thinks he's going to be going as a typical New Yorker. Oh, my God. Can you just imagine? I guess he won't be down on the floor. I guess they'll be in a box. Yeah, that's where he should be. But I don't know if they can protect there. But I'd love to get his take on how to guard Jalen Brunson. All right, 855. Imagine asking Trump some Nick questions now. Oh, goodness. All right, here is Mondani. The cut we've been teasing, cut 17. Mondani talking about he's going to expropriate, meaning steal, properties of what he says are the worst landlords, cut 17.
Through our new citywide campaign, Fix the City, we will focus on the worst landlords in New York City. When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards. Stewards that include community land trusts, nonprofits, or even the tenants themselves.
I want to see how that works. How long will it take to fix the elevator? By the way, just look at the Philadelphia public schools. Remember that story we had? The elevator broke and the kid with muscular dystrophy had to be carried in his wheelchair to the second story. They said they would get the part in after week on May 18th, but they wouldn't get to it to May 22nd. That's what I see happening here. But here is a kind of precursor of this. Do you remember this Sia Weaver? She is New York City's tenant director. And here is her vision, and this is where Mondani is going, cut 18.
I think the reality is that for centuries, we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good. And we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity. will require that we think about it differently. And it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
All right, I'd put that, if I could find her, Republicans got to put her out there in ad after ad after ad. Because people get it, particularly your home, your property is your property. There's not a collective good here. It's an individual thing, private property. It's one thing to tax forever, to come up with all these things. People resent that. But when you're seizing property, now, are some of these people in New York even criminal, what they may be doing in some of these buildings? Yes. Put me in charge within the law. I'll have a half hour. We're going to have action on this. Why is there no action? Enforce the law. If it's criminal, try to put them in jail. But no, this is about a ruse to seize property. And that's the line. That's the line that this guy has crossed already, and this woman gave it away. That's what they want to do. Coming up, Jeff Van Drew. He has been to and has a lot to say on his subcommittee about what goes on in Newark, where they're blockading the ICE facility there. And Mikey Sherrill, you saw, was there on Memorial Day. That's where she chooses to go. All right, he is next at 855-839-1210. You can get on board.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Here's the big announcement. Coming up next Thursday, May 28th, at the New Jersey FOP Lodge 56 in West Berlin, we will be live from 6 to 11, and we will have a special guest. Sean Farish is coming on up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good old time.
Yes.
Yes.
Sean will join us live and in person next Thursday at FOP Lodge 56. Go get tickets right now. 1210WPHT.com. They're free. Again, they're free.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Nick. Transform any living space for summer, indoors or out, during the Memorial Day sale at Bucks County Estate Traders. Their showroom is filled with high quality, built-to-last furniture, and I love the incredible variety. No matter your style, you will find beautiful pieces for every room in your home, plus a huge selection of patio and sunroom furniture. Save 20 to 50% store-wide. The sale runs now through the 31st, so don't miss it. Visit BucksCountyEstateTraders.com or their huge showroom in Hatfield. Tell them Nick sent you.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Summer is here, and that means pool days and patio nights. But is your uneven concrete making your backyard feel more like a construction zone than a vacation spot? Stop worrying about stubbed toes and stumbles. Keystone Guncrete can level your pool deck and patio quickly and cleanly, saving you thousands over the cost of pouring new concrete. We'll have your backyard party ready before your water even gets warm. Head to KeystoneGuncrete.com. Remember, Guncrete is spelled with a K. Mention 1210 and we'll take $50 off your project.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes and get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary. At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It is Dom time, one of our all-time favorites. Jeff Van Drew, very much in the news. We played you a cut here on the Dom Show today of this argument by Mark Wayne McMullen. And I'm going to ask Jeff about this. Don't huff and puff about it. In Newark, the parking lot now, the Philadelphia Inquirer says, is the epicenter of the war against Trump and these ridiculous illegal immigration policies. Okay. They want to do this. They want to say that you come to Newark, it's a riot every day for ICE officers to get in there. Newark's got the airport. Take away their customs, take away their ability to have international flights, essentially. Do it. And Congressman Jeff Van Drew's subcommittee has been involved with this. He's been there. I seem to remember right before a Friday or something, he was in the news. Right around the time of some of the others that were performing there. That's what it is. Mikey Sherrill, Andy Kim, and a couple of those Congress people. Let's go to Congressman Jeff Van Drew on Talk Radio 1210. Upper Darby is the city? I'm always curious how that got in there. Hey, Jeff Van Drew, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be with you. How are you, Dom?
Very well, Congressman. And this is an area where it's your bailiwick. You have a lot of knowledge on this. What do you think of this proposal by Mark Wayne McMullen, who I think has really restored calmness and order to Homeland Security? Is doing a heck of a job. As I understand it, all right, these sanctuary cities won't comply, and Newark is an example here. Then, okay, you're not going to have international flights. Are you going to comply then, at least with basic ICE demands of being able to get to their place of business, to get into the detention center?
They're breaking the law. I don't know what is so complicated. I mean, first of all, let me just, from the beginning, I am profoundly disappointed, disgusted, disturbed. There's a lot of words you can use, a lot of alliteration here, with our United States Senator and our governor to be there behaving in that fashion, like, you know, high school kids that were, but more dangerous, that were demonstrating or rallying about something. It was just wrong. It's wrong. I mean, this is not complicated. If you are concerned about the conditions at the detention center, then you arrange to have a visit. You go there in a peaceful, orderly way, befitting a governor, befitting a member of Congress, a U.S. senator, and you look and see what's going on. And by the way, for all the people that are listening, you know what? While you're breaking your back, you know, again, trying to make a living, you've got these people in the detention center, some of whom, for real, are murderers, rapists, drug czars, felons of all types, domestic abusers, child abusers. And these people, these elected officials, are defending them. They're afraid the water temperature might be a tad too cool in their shower, or that they're not having hot cuisine, the finest foods. I mean, they're having good 3 square meals a day. They've got a damn nutritionist on site that, you know, makes sure that the meals are nutritious and good. A lot of Americans would like to have their own nutritionist, you know. I could go on and on. It's just so wrong. It's bizarre. It's perverse. It's backwards. It's weird. But it's also dangerous.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I guess what I'm asking, though, is they do this, and Mikey Sherrill particularly, look, we honor her service, but she worked that, you know, the helicopter pilot in the campaign overtime. And yet on Memorial Day, this is where she and Andy Kim want to go, and the left on Memorial Day of all days.
I know. On Memorial Day, two things you should be doing. Celebrating your family, America, the fact that you're all together, hopefully some family. And secondly, remembering the men and women who literally gave up their lives so that you can protest. But it's peaceful protests. And the problem here is that it's not really peaceful. They're doing the wrong thing. I mean, it's a shame.
Your subcommittee too. What's going on with that? What's next after the holiday?
Well, there's a lot of things we can look at, and that's to be announced, and we're looking forward to, again, just always doing meaningful stuff. I don't know how else to say it, but real things and really having real conversations. And, I mean, we've had a good number of hearings and meetings. The Angel Moms were one of the ones that touched me the most because, Don, they're really worth watching. I did my thing. I spoke for a while. I really dug in and all, but then I just sat back because these Angel Moms were right there, and they were going at it with the Democratic members of my committee saying, hey, this isn't about Epstein. It's not about Trump. It's not about, politics as usual. This is about the fact, one lady said, my daughter is not alive because of your policies, because of what you think is right. And over again, you have these prosecutors, and it's not only with illegals. Some of them is just with criminals, and they let them out. And, Dom, it isn't once or twice or three times. We could cut down the level of crime across the country, and I want to talk about crime for just 1 second if I can, if we just arrested the bad people, and we know who they are and we know where they are, and made sure that judges didn't leave them out over and over again, made sure that prosecutors really indicted, really prosecuted, really did their job. And, they like to say, oh, the numbers are better in the cities, in the blue cities. No, the numbers are better because they're not allowing them to be arrested. They're not prosecuting them. They're not indicting them. So their numbers are lower, artificially produced. But every day, gosh, in my district, 2 days ago, city of Millville, small town, great people. 2 people were shot at a local establishment, a restaurant bar. I mean, it doesn't have to be this way. And it's so frustrating to me because we have people that should have the sense to know that this is wrong and you're endangering good men, women, and children by allowing these people out, by allowing illegal criminals in. I'm scared. I'm telling you, if the Democrats get control of the federal government, the 3 branches at some point, they are going to open the doors up so wide, so big. They're going to let and they were, but it's even going to be worse now because they're unabashed about it. They used to try to hide it. Now they're just going to do it. They're going to allow every horrible criminal from around the world to come into our blessed United States of America. I worry about it.
Iran at this point, Congressman, again, dragging, making the economy difficult, everything difficult, trying to find a solution here, a semi-ceasefire. We protected ourselves the other day, Strait of Hormuz, all that. What's the talk among Republicans in the House and your thoughts on it?
The majority of us, want to get this done. And the concern I have, look, first of all, I get the president's concern. Long-range missiles, these people are nuts. This is really bad, and they would inflict harm. They hate America, death to America. So we didn't need to worry about it. Nuclear material, enriched uranium, they should never have it. I get all of it, and I get the airstrikes and all, but we do have to make a deal on Hormuz, or we've got to go into the Strait and just make sure it's clean, clear, without mines, and that people can pass back and forth, because we got to take care of the American people, and the gas prices are just too high. And I wish, and I've mentioned this to the president, and hopefully he thinks about it, the oil companies, man, they're raising the prices more than they need to based upon the price per barrel. For God's sake, a lot of times the price per barrel goes down and they raise the price even more. And I know there's speculation, and I know about the market, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is we got to make it a priority, because it makes everything cost more, from your food to your heating and cooling. I don't have to tell you.
Well, what can the president do about that? Because I agree with you. For years, and you and I are sensitive to this speculation. They have to, and we're pro-business, But that's used as a dodge here, I think, in occasions like this to juice up the prices.
It is, and I'm pro-business, very much so. I'm a Republican. However, I'm pro-business that is a pro-America and cares about the American people, and there are many, many good businesses all around you, Dom. They're smaller and medium-sized businesses. These are mega corporations. Don't always assume that these supposed American corporations really care about America, because sometimes they don't. I've dealt with Exelon numerous times. They wanted to ban the Pledge of Allegiance in their offices when they have their public safety meetings, and fortunately it didn't happen. We fought like crazy, but that didn't sound like an American business to me. I love to see the president meet with them, read them the riot act, because we do lots to help them and expedite things getting done for these oil companies. I get it, so that we have oil, but they need to help us sometimes too.
Absolutely,
it should be a symbiotic relationship.
Well, Congressman, we look forward to seeing next with the subcommittee, et cetera. We hope to get you to Mulligan's this summer, too. Our first date is June 19th. I'll have Henry send your people. I know how busy you are, but you are always one of our favorites.
As soon as you can, if you send them that date as well as other dates, I really, really want to do it. The year before I did it, last year I didn't even get there. I want to get there again.
All
I
right.
want to see you in person.
We got
have
you.
some fun. So let's work
and
it out.
we know your drink of choice, too, so we'll be ready.
All right, my man.
Thank you, Congressman. Thanks very much. So, Henry, let them know that first date. I don't have a second one yet, but I'm working on that, hopefully. A lot of people coming to the Dom Giordano Day part, and Jeff Andrew was tremendous. So, Alante McCauley, who's in tomorrow, right, at 1 o'clock, he's a bourbon guy. Jeff Andrew, that's what he said, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, bourbon guy. I saw him bench pressing 265 pounds allegedly. We'll be asking him about that. I mean, he's not that big of a guy. That's pretty good.
Oh,
I don't know how many
built,
reps.
though.
I agree,
Yeah.
but 265 is even one time. That's pretty. Remember, Mondani with the 125 had a lot of trouble. Yeah. So he's a Scotch guy, though. So we got Scotch, bourbon, et cetera here. And Greek food, I think we're trying to work toward that. All right. So this is like the D-Day invasion, to pull off the first one. Last year was spectacular. But if Zenos comes, matching him up with Frank for volubility might be an interesting matchup of Greeks and Italians.
We'll never get to break with those two.
Yeah, I think Alexander the Great might have been there, but Frank would probably counter that with some Italian. Rocky did this or something. Okay. Coming to you at 855-839-1210, all-time journey. Coming off the Odyssey here and Odysseus in the movie coming up. You can get in with that. And I got to say, as much as I don't like Brendan Boyle, man, I'm looking at the Washington. What are they thinking for their they go the 26th through July 10th. Yeah, Martina McBride's fine, but Milli Vanilli's there.
Yeah.
I mean, we may have to do a side on the all-time fraudulent, one of my favorite, Philadelphia Public Schools, Milli Vanilli, same thing.
It's 2026, not 1996.
Yeah, it's all 90s and Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
my God.
He's going to hit Ice Ice Baby and then be like, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there on the mall. At least Philadelphia has some names, as much as they're not but these aren't patriotic. Well, Martina McBride, but some of these are not any realm of patriotism.
Yeah, not even close.
Hey, Flo Rida is named after a state.
Yeah, well, that's true, too. Yes.
It's pretty patriotic.
It's a great name. I think that's a pretty good name, the Flo Rida. Yes. 855.
Carroll City, Florida.
And Milli Vanilli are German, too, right? German fraud.
I think
right?
so.
Yeah. All-time fraud. I don't know if did they ever apologize for it or no? I think they just moved on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You can't bring Milli Vanilli, though. Are people really going to stand there at a concert with Milli Vanilli?
I'm not.
Followed by Vanilla Ice. Coming up, Vanilla Ice. Brendan Boyle. Just critique. Tell me what you think, Brendan, about the Philadelphia concert, though. Better names, but is there any hint of patriotism there? I don't think so. Right now, though, speaking of music, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
We are playing today for a copy of Scott Jennings' book, A Revolution of Common Sense, How Donald Trump Stormed Washington and Fought for Western Civilization. All right, Henry.
Yeah, Dom. So today on the side, we're asking for those all-time journeys, and I'd say one of the biggest journeys a person can make is that venture into space. So simply put, this cover artist of Rocket Man today has been in space both on your television set and in real life. I want to know who this cover artist is here, quote-unquote, singing Rocket Man. Let's take a listen. Yeah, probably as close as he gets to singing,
Yes,
I'll say. But
you don't care. The guy is so good.
Yeah.
I won't give his credential at all.
No,
even
please
remotely.
don't. I try to keep it as basic as possible.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, if something that's not even noticeable, I'll say it afterward though. All right, who is that? You get the book. You get the belt for today. Hit us with that at 855-839-1210. Coming to your calls, too, on an all-time journey here with Dom, Henry, and Kirk on Talk Radio 1210.
If your ride's out of warranty and something big breaks, it could cost you thousands. Ludacris here. Let me put you on to the auto protection I trust, Endurance. With Endurance, you could never have to pay out of pocket for covered car repairs again. I'm talking about the pricey stuff, drivetrain, transmission, electrical, AC, plus lots more. You pick the certified mechanic and Endurance pays them directly. No middlemen, no runaround. If your car is under 20 years old, you're covered with unlimited miles. Plus added benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and towing. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. Listen, saving money is the same as making money. So who's gonna cover your next breakdown? You or Endurance? Right now, pick the plan that's right for you and get a full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee.
For your fast free quote, call 800-295-0763. 800-295-0763. 800-295-0763.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
The Memorial Day sales event is going on now at Tri-County Toyota. Take advantage of special savings across our lineup, like a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR financing. And ask about our veteran specials. It's our way of saying thank you to those who served. Visit us at 15 D&L Drive in Royersford or online at tricountytoyota.com. With approved credit. Final price includes $4.90 doc fee. Expires June 1st, 2026. Ready for your next Jeep? Tri-County Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the perfect fit waiting. Step into a new 2026 Jeep Wrangler with legendary capability. Now leasing for just $392 a month during the Declaration of Deals event. Need more? We have over 25 Jeep Grand Cherokees packed full of savings. Stop by during Declaration of Deals event to get your next Jeep at 422jeep.com or visit us at 15 D&L Drive 100 in Limerick.
39-month lease, 7,500 miles per year, $29.99 due at signing. Zero security deposit with approved credit plus tax, title, and any other governmental charges. Expires 5/31/2026.
You know what I don't like? Paying for something twice. I can't stand that. Hey, it's Rich Zioli. That's why when it comes to your roof, siding, doors, and windows, there's only one call you should make, and that's to my guys at Emmons Roofing and Siding. Emmons is a platinum Owens Corning contractor, which means that Owens Corning backs not just the shingles, but the workmanship as well for life. That's right, for life. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, residential or commercial, done right the first time, every time. Go to emmonsroofing.com.
May weather is nice, but the summer heat is coming, and so are the high utility bills. Don't wait for your AC to start working overtime. Call Window Nation now. During Window Nation's May sale, buy 4 windows and get 4 free. That's right. Replace your windows and get half of them absolutely free. Plus, get 0 down and no payments or interest for 2 years. The experts at Window Nation will install your windows in 1 day or less. Beat the heat and save big. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
This is the sound of Jack, buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
From Pottstown to Vincenttown, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's the Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That is right. So we're talking Journey today, coming off this Odysseus, the new film, and we're looking for an all-time Journey. Who is covering this song?
He's journeyed into space in more than one way.
Yes. Yeah, remember when he did that? He hasn't been in Philadelphia in a while. Let's go to Karen in Bluebell. All right, Karen, who's covering the song?
That is William Shatner.
It is William Shatner. Definitely, I'd have to, on the fly, think of my top 5 guests of all time that I've had. He's in the top 5, though. I think I've had him 5 times, 6 times, never in person. But way back when, Dick Clark in person, at the height of his thing at WWDB in studio, I don't even know how it happened, was definitely, it was worth it. It was the time he was still doing New Year's Eve, et cetera. So
Yeah, because the time or two I've been on this show with him on, it's been great
Oh,
because you just get him going and he just he's going off.
You just have to throw the ball anywhere, and he's going to carry it. The nerve to do something like the song, and he's not singing and then say Rocket Man. And you can see him sitting there, he's signing autographs. Rocket Man, just sign another. Apparently, he's very good with these celebrity meets, too. He's still generous about it, not off-putting, etc.
I saw they brought his Priceline commercial back.
Oh, okay.
Because he's, I guess he's handing off the mantle.
Oh, to who?
Shoot, I forget his name. He's in some Marvel movies.
Okay.
Hold on, I know his name. Randall Park.
Okay, that doesn't go so well. Remember the most interesting man in the world, and they made him hand it off to whoever. That guy got it. The first guy was just incredible.
And now years later, they've gone back to him.
Yeah, I mean, you just have a certain persona to say, what the hell? And everybody says, oh, that's just William Shatner. He can do that. Yeah, you can't hand it off to anybody. Very dangerous stuff, the successor. Okay, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. By the way, I'm on this AI watch around here, and Bucks County, today, the Bucks County Courier-Times has several eruptions of this. Apparently, Falls Township is one place, a couple of others that are mentioned, maybe the farther reaches of Bucks County. So Bucks County getting into the act with this. And here's what I think is a great summary of what we're offered with AI. This is a guy named Ed Dow. Listen to his summary of the AI dystopian sales pitch. Now, this may be a bit extreme, I get. There's upside with AI, but here's vision of it, cut 14.
What impact, if any, do you think sort of this potentially growing social backlash against AI might play in the mix here?
That's super interesting. And I've already seen the AI bulls come out and defend the students booing. This is the same sentiment occurred around the internet, which I was there. It did not. No one was booing anybody talking about the internet during.
Yeah, and I was there with you. I agree. Yep.
So that did not happen. They got a marketing sales pitch problem, and I pointed this out on X. Their sales pitch seems to be white collar jobs are going to disappear in 18 months. We need your electricity and your water. Good luck. That's not a good pitch.
All right. Now, that may be a bit very well styled and put out there, but he said something here I wanted to leap on. If I hear two things. If I hear one more time This is just like when they had the buggy whip. Are you staying there, making buggy whips with the horse to the car? Or you heard what he said. The same thing happened with the internet. No, he's right. It wasn't like this, the reaction to it. So are we wrong? And these titans of the universe, just the mere sight of Bill Gates, for example, sets me off. When I hear this maniac want to dampen the sun to solve climate things, and he's got the resources and he's out there. He's disgusting. Just to think he's got too much free time saving the rest of us in the world. No, we don't want Bill Gates doing this stuff, these masters of the universe. I more prefer those that just want to make ungodly amounts of money. But he's right. Bucks County now experiencing this. That is the one thing they tell us. Oh, you must have been against the internet. You must have been against going into space. You must have been against the car. And then the second thing, and that's when I really erupt. You don't want to cure cancer, hey? Oh, that's right. We're going to be curing cancer. Why isn't AI? Oh, well, you're going to see down the road, AI doesn't know it can cure cancer yet. But it's going to tell us how to cure cancer. What does that say to all these scientists? And then they might backpedal and say, well, they're going to be using AI. Oh, I thought it was AI, though. The scientist is too dumb to do it, but he's going to use AI. Aha. The cancer cure thing. Why are these kids then, and O'Reilly even, next time he's on, we might get into it again. We played you any number of people. Now, Wozniak, who I think was partnered in a way with Bill Gates, he said the other day, yeah, for years, these people tried to build a brain. You have a brain. That's AI. Use your brain. Now, maybe he was just pandering to the crowd. The worst was that real estate woman. This is the Industrial Revolution. She expected the crowd. Oh, man, they started up on that. And when she said, oh, was that a faux pas or something like that, it got even worse. But the genius, the Google guy, he was the one arrogantly, when someone gives you a ride on a spaceship, you don't ask what seat you're going to be in, buddy. I'm a master of the universe. I'm Google. Look, I think it's an open debate. I hear we don't want China to control it, et cetera. But I don't think the Trump administration is in the business of putting enough guardrails on this. Again, this is coming back to these local commissars. And Henry, you kind of think, too, they were on board. I do, too. And then suddenly, when people storm the ramparts, now they don't know what to do. Yeah. So they start screaming, 180 days. That's the new thing. Moratorium. They all scream 180 days. Well, buddy, some months don't have 30 days. They might have 31 or February or something. Oh, well, we mean 6 months. Scream 6 months. I think 180 days. The clock is ticking. Now it's in Bucks County. Okay? And people sense that all these wonders are being promised here and all these new jobs. I believe AI is of a different stripe. It's a pretty obvious. That ends the debate right there. Doesn't mean we're not going to use AI. It means there have to be many more guardrails. Is it the same thing? And this guy, when I heard this, just made a great point. Just like the internet. Really? Is that what the promise of the internet was? Is that how it was sold? Was that the debate around it? No, I don't think so. And we all know that Al Gore invented the internet anyhow. So there's that. By the way, yeah, the Inconvenient Truth, I think, is the 20th anniversary of that. And you could just see how far tech has gone. And in some cases, some of these guys pitch it as almost like a religion. It gets into the extended life stuff. Nothing wrong with longevity and wrong with that. But this is taken to an extreme. You can feel it. You can get the vibe. It's nuts. And these guys being in control of this. Yeah, so I'm in agreement with Pope Leo. And here, this is shocking to me. This is Henry Cut 22. I'm sort of in agreement that it's a bad look for the Trump administration when Melania Trump walked around with the robot. I think it was supposed to be a robot teacher. Ixnay on that. Even Randy Weingarten has a bit of a point. Cut 22.
The student-teacher relationship produces one of the largest effects in education research. Yet best practices in education, brain research, and the science of learning too often take a back seat to market forces and political influence. The global ed tech market was estimated at $187 billion in 2025. And the tech industry is seeking more. And that's just ed tech, not all tech. And they have friends at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The Trump administration has given big tech carte blanche. And Melania Trump's White House stroll with the humanoid robot to tout using robots to replace teachers spoke volumes. But so did the responses from teachers, wondering how a robot was going to build trust with students or know that one of their kids was having a bad day. There's no algorithm for that. Students need their teachers, real human beings, not robots and not chatbots.
All right, now this is taken into account all the baggage of Randy Weingarten to get to that one singer. Not a good look. And she said something there, too. She called it, look, she wants to go after Trump. I get that. That's it. That's her mission. But she talked about this high tech in education. We're talking about, what are you talking about over in Lower Merion now? Too many screens. Too many kids in front of too many screens going down that path. Now, that's not AI per se. But this idea that AI, in some instance, people believe would be a better tutor. It knows everything. You want to ask it a question? Yes, it will teach you in that way. The chatbot thing. Some of these guys, lonely, whatever, that this is, something better than trying to deal with females and be rejected. It's all part and parcel of this stuff that is dangerous. So there's not that there's not good use of this, but my main argument, if I debate one of these people, will be it's different. It is different. Don't tell me this is the internet or the car or whatever the advance was, and you're a Luddite, the people that were against that. I love that word, by the way, the Luddites. They haven't come up with a new one for people apprehensive about AI yet. And I think there's a lane for Perry got into this the other day, Congressman Perry, when he was on, talking about, they can, the car can kill the switch, can kill you. You're not feeling well. You shouldn't be driving. Bang, Schuylkill Expressway, pull over. That's it. We're shutting the car off. These are all things that are involved here. Why are we enamored with that? I'm not. I root against Watson when it played on Jeopardy. I wanted it to blow up right there and malfunction, to lose beyond belief. I don't understand. I'm right. What are you talking about? If you were rooting for the computer, you think anybody was, Henry, rooting for the computer?
No.
Now, against Ken Jennings, I admit, that might be an unlikable battle there to me, that I don't get how that show still succeeds. When you're going from the avuncular, the beloved, over time, to Ken Jennings, couldn't they have put Aaron Rodgers in there? It would be comic relief. You try it out. All right.
That's why I took the ayahuasca. That's why I went on that spiritual journey.
That's right, to get ready for Jeopardy.
Football, or do I host Jeopardy?
35 days a year. That's all that you work. All right, 855-839-1210. Jump on board. Hit us with your answer on the side and everything else on Talk Radio 1210.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Living here is about more than just the headlines. It's the new restaurant opening in Fishtown. It's the playoff energy at the bank. It's the festivals that make your neighborhood feel like home.
KYW News Radio brings you the pulse of the Delaware Valley. From service journalism that solves problems to stories that celebrate our culture, we cover the life you're actually living.
Authentic, local, factual. KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news source.
Success is picking up extra shifts for your family. Now you want to be the boss. Success is getting your foot in the door. Now you want to take the next step. Success looks different to everyone, and University of Maryland Global Campus can help you reach your goals. And there's never been a better time to get started on your future. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. As an accredited state university, UMGC has been transforming lives for over 75 years. With more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, online and hybrid courses, personalized support, financial resources, and lifetime career services, achieving your dreams is more possible than ever before. Choose the program that's right for your career goals and get started on your next success. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're so delicious and with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
Shower chances will decrease heading through the afternoon. It'll stay warm and humid with a high of around 82. For tonight, becoming partly cloudy, low 66 for the city, a bit cooler in the suburbs, and a less humid day on Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds with a high near 80.
Feel the future of luxury with the all-new Infiniti QX65, where bold design meets effortless performance. Elevate every drive with advanced tech and refined comfort. Discover yours at Infiniti Westchester or Infiniti Ardmore.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios. Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, we're looking for journeys today. Let's go Dom Giordano's show. Let's go to Bill, who I think is a former principal. Yeah, we're going to try to get one of those principals on, particularly the guy who says, would the Phillies take the field with 7 players versus 9? Why are we expected with $5 billion? You know, the Phillies principal don't have a budget of $5 billion. Last time I looked.
See, the Phillies know how to budget their allocated money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, sort of. Yeah,
sort of,
pay. And bring Mike Trout here, and let's see that budget explode. Is Mike Trout, by the way, an ingrate that he doesn't want to come back to Philadelphia? I see a little bit of that there.
An ingrate? I don't think that's I think he's just loyal to the Angels for taking a chance on him.
That's all true.
He was the only prospect at the draft when he got drafted back in, 2009.
Yeah, but wouldn't they understand that, coming home to Philadelphia, the Eagles games, the whole thing with them and all? That's loyalty. I admire that, but I also thought, and does he ever want to win?
Right. I think he wanted to do it for the Angels, and it's never worked out.
No. I think it'd be reasonable on that regard. And boy, the reception here now, maybe he doesn't like the pressure, though. It'd be unbelievable.
At this point in his career, I think he needs the pressure.
Okay. Bill in Philadelphia. So, Bill, you're a former principal. What do you think of this?
Hi, Dom. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a retired principal. I still sometimes work in Philadelphia. My spin on this is the fact that this has already happened before. I don't know if you remember back in 2013, the doomsday budget, where Dr. Haidt laid off hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they left the principals, which is sad because I don't think the principals remember this. The principals were left to their own devices to take care of everything. And it was horrible. I mean, I had to lay off roughly about 20 people myself. And my secretary didn't come back until like the day before school. I never had a counselor. And again, we didn't have teachers. We didn't have anybody to really support the kids in the schoolyards and that kind of thing.
All right,
but
Bill, I hear you. Let's
really
cut to the chase, though. As I see it, though, how in the world do we have a budget at this point that's a little bit under $5 billion and they can't field a team, to use this principal's comments?
Because what they're doing, what they did back then, is they're using the money, the COVID money, they use the money to hire people, and they shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
So they hired all these extra people, and now the time has come. The COVID money's running out. The same thing happened in 2013. That was with the stimulus money from Obama.
Okay.
They hired a bunch of people, and then they couldn't actually make the cut and pay them outright using the existing budget.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. That's part of it also, in my view, Bill, and I don't want to drag you into it. They're beyond top heavy. They spend money that is waste, fraud, and abuse. And when you have the fewer number of students they have than when you were there by a lot, and you have, I'll get the exact figure here in a second, but under $5 billion, you ought to be able to fund this stuff. You ought to be able to have enough teachers, don't you think?
I agree. You should have enough teachers, and you should have enough support staff. But again, they just keep on spending. They keep increasing the administrative building
right.
and what's going on there. And you know what? At the end of the day, I mean, you see the scores. You see what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the reality is they're not actually putting out a product that really is beneficial. It's not preparing the kids for the 21st century, I'll tell you that.
No, without a doubt. Bill, do you have a side question, a journey?
Oh, yes, I do. So I think this has now become the longest journey. Back in April of this year, the Artemis II lunar mission was the furthest anybody ever traveled out into space. It was a great, good feeling time back then when, they finally landed safely. I thought it was just a really nice time.
Absolutely. That is a good one. That is the farthest, without a doubt. Very, very good one. Well, I'm glad we cut to the chase on that. Henry, do you have it? If you, I don't know if anybody has the accurate figure. Guy Shiraki, though, has detailed how it's under $5 billion, but not by much. And again, if that's the budget, you got to be masters of just top-heavy, fraud, waste, abuse, not caring because you have a monopoly not to be able to field a team. So if we get that principle on, that's what I'm going to say. And all these climate czars in school, they have to keep the climate correct. Otherwise, there'll be mayhem. All these people they've hired with the extra COVID, that's what they're going to do. Yeah, where did all the COVID money go? They weren't in school, and they got all that money. What did they do with it? Chromebooks. You think that's useful? No, it's not. What's the budget?
4.6.
4.6. All right, $4.6 billion. This time, though, Mayor Parker, you've run against a company that somehow or another, we tried to get them on. I think they're winning the battle. City Council doesn't, even the Working Families Party, communist, don't appear ready to put the kibosh on them and go for this. And it's weird. Are they just propping up their campaign, spending money? Remember, big soda. Soda is just walking along. Dote. America's loved soda. You're a drug dealer. You're giving people obesity. Put down that Yoo-Hoo bottle or put down that Mountain Dew and get over here. And you know what? They got away with it. They got away with it. They taxed that. Before that, it was tax on the drink. Okay? I think it's cigarette tax, too, probably goes to it. And yet they're never going to be able to do it. They don't want to. They don't care about that. I think the superintendent makes over $400,000. Okay. What are the results? Oh, this guy's everywhere he goes, things get better. Really? Come on now. Who are we kidding here? And yet charter schools have waiting lists of over 40,000, 90,000, all kinds of numbers. They have to have lotteries. They're going to continue to do it. They will always do it. Here's the story, though. I think this time they've run into an enterprise, Uber, ride sharing, that somehow or another, and I suspect they're giving them money, campaigns, but also they say that lower income people depend on this. Now, that doesn't, wouldn't you have to take SEPTA if you're lower income? Is Uber affordable? I don't know about that. Somehow or another, though, City Council doesn't want to do this. Here's Lance in South Philly. Lance on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Lance.
How you doing, Dom?
Good.
Henry Kurtz. I'm going to get straight to it, but let me get this out of the way. I guess Zeno's must watch Zorba the Greek with his eyes closed because Anthony Quinn is a Mexican. And he only wants real Greeks to play Greek roles. He must probably put toilet paper on the screen. I don't know. But the greatest journey is the journey we're living right now, the American journey. Whether you came here as a slave, whether you came here as an immigrant, in your mother's arms, on your mother's back, you came here for freedom. That's most important. Freedom, opportunity, the land opportunity, and also it's the only place where you can get fried Oreos and fried pickles at the county fair, the American journey.
Thank you, Lance. Boy, that was poetic. We got to write some of that down from Lance today.
I'm hungry, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, I don't know. I went to fried pickles. I want to take Pete.
I love a fried pickle.
I want to take Pete before the lightning round in Southeast Philly. Hey, Pete, afternoon.
Hello, Dom. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pete.
Hey, Dom, Henry, good to talk to you guys today.
This is Milli Vanilli territory, yes.
Right.
Dom, speaking of Milli Vanilli, I don't know if you know this. This is Pete now, my voice. Dom, Milli Vanilli, there is only one left because after that scandal broke with them lip syncing, one of them committed suicide, and I'm talking like 15, 20 years ago.
Okay. So wait a minute now. This fraudulent group only has one of the original group, and they're putting it out on the mall in Washington for America 250. Oh, my God. Do better, I think. Yeah.
True story. You can look it up. And by the way, I did have William Shatner doing Rocket Man, so since you already got that, if you might want to sometime listen when you get a minute, he also sings Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And it's
classic.
Yeah, it's a riot. Dom, I got to run this by you real quick because I know he's busy. From 1972 to 1982, I think I told you this about a year ago. I worked on the Phillies ground crew for them 10 years. And the Phillies were in the World Series in 1980, eventually winning it. But make a long story short, each member of the Phillies ground crew, we all got 10 tickets for the World Series, for the home games. 10 tickets. Now, what I did is I sold my 10 tickets instead of they were for family and friends, but I sold mine, and I sold them for $20,000 to a ticket agency in Philadelphia, which remained nameless.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, 2,000. Well, they turned around and resold them for $2,500 a ticket. So they made $5,000 on me, but that was fine with me. And they're still in business to this day. They've been in business I don't know, handed down from family to family. What was the other thing? Oh, by the way, Dom, I could tell Henry's into basketball, and I know you are. And the reason I know this, and Dom, I don't know. I think I told you. I played college basketball. I had a scholarship, and I played. I played in every summer league in Philadelphia. I'm older now. And the reason I know Henry plays ball, when he said the other day when you were talking about playing one-on-one against somebody, when Henry said, do you play to 11? I knew right away he's talking about playing pivots because when you play pivots, you count by ones, and you play to 11. Mm-hmm. Is that right? He said play to 11.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew that. So here's my deal for you guys. I'll play either one of you one-on-one to 11. I'll give either one of you 4 points If I lose, I'll donate $1,000 to Ringo Starr. And if you lose, I get a half hour in the studio with you guys on the radio. And the reason I'm going to donate the $10,000 to Ringo Starr is so he can get singing lessons because he is brutal.
All right, well, that's a lot to throw at us. We'd have to talk to Greg Stocker about that, but I'm up for that, though,
Same
on my
here.
part.
Yeah,
yeah. And can we play in Wildwood?
Well, that's the thing. I'm in Sea Isle. I'm not there now. I'll be going down this Thursday for most of the summer. But it's easy for me to get from Sea Isle over to Wildwood.
Oh, man, this would be a spectacular.
This would be awesome.
I would just say, how about if Henry plays you first? I'm looking at the weird and then I play you second.
I know what you're trying to do, Dom. You're trying to tire me out and then play you.
Right, Henry's just cannon fodder here. He may take the L. Then I get the big win here.
Oh, you'd love that. I'm not losing to nobody.
How tall are you, Pete?
That's what I like to hear, Henry. I love competition, and I still play.
Okay.
If I told you my age, which I'm not going to tell you, but you probably already know.
What's your height?
I'm 6'5" on the button.
Oh, well, that's easy. That's nothing. That's nothing.
But I'm a Dom. I played before the 3-point shot, and I'll tell you what, I would have averaged 30 a game in college if they had the 3-point shot. And now I can. So my point is, I can still hit the 3 from anywhere.
All right, we'll put this under advisement, Pete. I'm flat out of time here, though. We'd ask Greg about that coming in studio, but maybe at Mulligan's, Greg would be okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't expect a loss, though, for either one of us.
I still want him in studio either way.
Yeah, Pete, we do want you to come over from Sea Isle. All right, lightning round next. Way behind. Get in that answer. Be brief. It's next on Talk Radio 1210.
My name is Mary Viney, and I started with Crash Proof in 2011. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Because of all the chaos that's going around the world today, the uncertainties, it's important to get your money off of risky markets and put it in a safe place. In 2026, with Crash Proof, I am earning over 20%. I was expecting to earn about 4 to 6, but it was over 20%, which is phenomenal. And what's nice is that's interest that I get to keep. It makes me feel good that I'm earning money, especially with the market going up and down. So this is the time, if you don't want to be under a lot of stress or pressure about your money, Crash Proof is the way to go.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Downingtown Country Club on Tuesday, June 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Free speech in Philly on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
What a show today. We're already plotting stuff out. The lightning round today is brought to you by my great friend Diane Giordano, because Pennsylvania and New Jersey home sellers, if you're over 60 and even thinking about selling right now or next year, do not start too late. Sellers are losing thousands before the sign ever goes up. They fix the wrong things. They guess on price. They get blindsided at inspections. Learn how to sell smart and protect your equity with me and my friend Diane Giordano-Casaccio with Giordano Realtors at their free home seller seminar June 9th, Hilton Garden Inn in Fort Washington. Enjoy wine and appetizers at 5 p.m. The seminar starts at 6 p.m. Should you downsize? now or stay put? What about capital gains? How do you declutter 30 years of stuff? And what would you fix or not fix? Should you sell as is? How do you price and market your home to sell fast? All attendees also get a copy of one of Diane's free copy, Diane's 5 books, your choice. Diane says RSVP now, 215-576-8666, or go to 215-576-8666.com. It's great food, great wine, great company, and unbelievable information. Bill in Bucks, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Bill, what's yours today?
Hi there. Yeah, mine is a Bahamian song about a voyage of a boat, and it was depicted on an album of the Beach Boys back in the 1960s, Pet Sounds. It was drink it all night, got into a fight. When I feel so broke up, I want to go home. So hoist up the sloop John B. sail. That's it, sloop John B.
Thank you very much. I hear Brian Fitzpatrick likes that song. Let's go to Michael in Wilmington. Hey, Michael, good afternoon.
Hey, Dom. Hey, Kirk. Hey, Henry. Dzień dobry, everybody. Dzień dobry. Little Polish there for everybody. No more to speak of.
Thank you.
My side today, Dom, is first thing I thought of when I thought of epic journeys was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. His epic journey of cutting school, getting the Ferrari, going to the Chicago Cubs game, going down to the parade, singing the Beatles song, all to basically get back home before his parents. That's Ferris Bueller's Day Off with my side, Dom.
That is one of my top 10 scenes, Dankeschön, with Ferris
Absolutely.
Bueller. Oh, my God. Yes. That film is, it's not good, fellas. Joe of Exton. Joe, what's yours today? Good afternoon.
The theme song.
Hello, Dom. Good afternoon. A country expresses pride in itself by erecting a monument symbolizing that pride. In France, we have the Eiffel Tower. In America, pride is expressed in the Statue of Liberty, symbolizing one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You kind of like the Statue of Liberty into the journey, people seeing the statue. That's true. The end of that journey is powerful. All right, Kirk, who did you settle on?
I'm settling on Joe from Columbus with the magical, mystical journey of marriage.
Henry, how about yours?
Yeah, I second the marriage answer from Joe. I also liked Ferris Bueller's Day Off from Michael there. And why not Lance in South Philly with the American journey?
Why not?
Oh, boy. You know what? The marriage thing was great, but I got to go with Lance. I was almost at attention. That was poetic, particularly when he talked about the pickled something or other.
Fried pickles. Fried pickles and fried Oreos. The same spot.
All right, there you go. And we may have a basketball match set up here with Pete. Will he be imitating us after it? Who knows?
I hope so.
That would be a great opening act for Mulligans. Because after Mulligans, I'm drained. I don't think I could do it. All right. We can't have a duel with the guy, so it's got to be basketball. Mike Opelka is next, noted golfer and raconteur, to take you home on the afternoon show. All that on Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
I'm Paul Cozy from Cozy Jewelers, and we're not your typical jewelry